The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
This is pretty cool. So the 7-Eleven expanded its home delivery menu last week so that their next goal is delivering alcohol. It doesn't really make sense because if you're getting delivery from 7-Eleven, you're probably already pretty drunk.
Hey, guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.
It's showtime, baby.
Yeah, that came on quick, Josh. I wasn't quite ready for that.
Well, that's all the 7-Eleven content we have.
It's all on me. This is my fault.
I don't see how that's your fault.
I wasn't ready. I should be ready. That's why it's my fault. I feel like I let you down already, and it's 5:40.
No, not at all. I mean, you jumped on it right away.
Talk to me.
Yeah, you were just fine.
How upset are you?
I'm kind of upset, to be completely honest. Actually, you know what? I'm furious.
Jesus Christ. I had it coming. It is early. It's 5:40. And we welcome you to the show, the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Oh, hell, today's program is going to be crowded. Unless anything's changed, I understand we have two of our favorite people stopping in to jaw-jack a little bit. KARE 11 television star Janel Klein and her current boyfriend, stand-up comedian Willi Myles.
And they are the best of friends. These two, they adore each other, so it's always nice to get them in at the exact same time. I don't even know if we're going to recognize Janel.
It's been a long time.
It's, 3 weeks? Something like that?
Dang.
I hate going that long without seeing Janel.
Me too.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Jungle Jane. The folks over at the rehab center have. That's where she's been, I heard. The last 3 weeks, drying out. Drying out over at the...
She hides it well.
At the spin dry. Yeah, they threw her in spin dry. Well, that'll be fun. I miss Janel. She's a wonderful lady. Both our guests, wouldn't you agree? Wonderful people.
Oh, without a doubt. I had mentioned yesterday that on the boat, my family had an extended visit with Willi Myles, and they fell in love with him. As I told them they would.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful people.
Super funny dude.
And they will both be here on the program beginning at around 7:30. Janel Klein, Willi Myles.
No Dick Bramer today, which is always a bummer. That's my favorite part of the week, really. Dick Bramer being on every Tuesday. I love listening to that guy.
Mm-hmm. I would imagine maybe he's, I don't know, this is just a guess. Maybe he's loading up the boat to try to go catch some walleyes or something?
Yeah, I'll bet you anything he's fishing.
Mm-hmm. That's a good guess.
With the All-Star break, Dick gets some time off. He ain't got to work again till Friday. And I believe the Twins' first stop after the All-Star break, God, now I really wish we could talk to Dick today, because their first stop after the All-Star break, Oakland.
Right.
And he'll be probably... hand fighting with a family of possum like he was a couple of years ago.
It's funny that he said they still haven't got that figured out. They just don't care about the visiting broadcasting booth.
That whole stadium has stopped caring a long time ago.
You think so?
Or they've stopped caring about that stadium a long time ago.
If you missed it a couple years ago, they had to throw Dick Bramer and I don't know who he was partnering with that night, LaTroy Hawkins or Justin Morna. They had to throw him out of the broadcast booth because it'd been overtaken by a family of possum or opossum. I'm not exactly sure how to say it.
So gross.
And then it just happened again recently with a different broadcast crew.
Just kind of poked his little head out through a little hole in the ceiling like, hello.
Dickless today, as you said yesterday in our post-show meeting, Josh.
Yeah, today, unfortunately, we're dickless.
And next week, too, because he's on the east, what do you call the other one?
West Coast.
The West Coast. That's how it goes. All right, here's the deal. Tuesday morning, thanks for being there with us. I got to tell you, Josh, I ran across a couple things yesterday that I just got to run by you. Funny, I thought. I have a slight fear that I'm the only one that's going to find this funny. That's why I wanted to run it by you, and what better place than live on the radio. Now, I've never been on any kind of a dating app. I kind of wish I had. because a lot of what I read is really effing clever. Whenever I run across an article about dating apps, the certain things that people post, is that how you say it? Post?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
There's certain things that people post to try to get noticed, to try to get laid, get a date, whatever the goal might be. Some of it is really funny. The younger folks here, Dana, Wapple, Ashley, you've all been on dating apps?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Okay. Each of you, if you wouldn't mind, I'm sure you've explained a little bit about your dating app likes and dislikes over the years, but I forget these things. And for those who haven't heard you talk about it before, each of you rate your experience on a scale of 1 to 10 and why.
Like a 9?
A 9?
That's great.
Mostly because my current boyfriend, I met him on a dating app.
See,
and that went very well, so
He
going well.
rates it as a 3.
He said it was the worst thing that's ever happened to him.
Actually, a 3? I'll take that.
What if you hadn't met your current boyfriend on the dating app? How would you have rated it?
Probably like a 7.
So you liked it.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
You had good luck. I'm not surprised by that. You're an adorable lady.
I missed the boat on it. I mean, when it first came out, it was so taboo. Like, people would make fun of you for being on one of those apps. So
True.
I stayed off, but I had a friend who, he jumped on the bandwagon right away, and he met some really hot women on that thing.
Just wall-to-wall ass, this guy?
The show, was it Rock of Love that had that really attractive redhead? She was obviously dyed red,
Lord, are you talking?
I can't remember her name.
Are you talking about the one that Brent Michaels was dangling with?
Right. That dating show?
Someone's going to help us out.
You know who I'm talking about,
yes.
though.
Someone's going to help us out via text, 651-989-9393. If you watch that dopey Rock of Love program with Brent Michaels from Poison, okay, and I did. I watched.
I did too.
He ended up, or at least on the show, he ended up with, in my opinion, one of the most stunning women I've ever seen in my life. This has happened to us before, Josh, where we bring this girl up and we cannot think of her name. Was it April?
That doesn't sound right. Maybe. She had, I was trying to think how to phrase it. It was like alternative red.
Yes.
Like kind of like punk rock red, not like a redhead.
Yes.
She was beautiful.
People are Lacey. It's not Lacey.
Yeah, I don't think Lacey.
Was it Amber?
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, you're on the right track.
Amber Lake?
I don't know the last name. Send a picture of her to Josh so he can confirm. But anyway.
But my buddy, so he's a dork. He ended up dating a girl that looked just like her. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I had to pinch myself like, am I awake? There's no way.
He didn't.
He did. I mean, honestly, at first I thought, how does he know the chick from Rock of Love?
Wow.
Wapple, you're pointing to your penis.
A woman who looked like...
Yeah, check her out.
That gal. Josh is looking at his email right now to try to... This is funny. So we're trying to come up with this gal's name. Someone just texted in, are you talking about Tila Tequila?
No, not Tila.
I have not thought of that name in a long time.
Is this a safe place for me?
I think so.
Is it safe for me?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to admit I fell in love with that Tila Tequila for a minute or two.
Did you really?
Okay, that's not the one.
Yeah, this isn't her.
That's not her.
Or if it is, she looks completely different in this picture.
Okay, what we're referring to, Wapple sent Josh.
She had short hair.
Yes, much more of a punk rock look.
Yeah.
The woman that you sent Josh, Wapple, also was on that show, but that's not the woman. That's
Jess.
not. Jess is the name. That's it.
That's it. Yep, Jess.
One of the most stunning women I have ever seen on television or otherwise. Your dork buddy dated a woman who looked like her.
Oh, and he broke up with her. I still haven't forgiven him for that. It was pink hair. It was pink hair, not red hair.
It was multicolored. I would date a woman who just had the same eyebrows as Jess. You
dated a girl that had the same name, and I think that was on purpose.
I did date her on purpose. Yes. Wow, that's incredible.
And the all-knowing brotherhood. Yeah, she is something. What a stunner.
But I fell in love with Tila Tequila. Did anyone else fall in love with Tila Tequila?
I did not.
No.
My God, I thought she was. Okay, Ashley rated her dating app experience as a 7 to 9 in that wheelhouse. Wapple, I said dating experience. What I meant to say was dating app experience. Wapple, give us your rating from 1 to 10 or 0 to 10.
He's going to say a 10.
And why?
I'd say maybe like a 4 or a 5.
What? Didn't you meet your current girlfriend on there?
Yeah, that's why I give it such like a 4 or a 5.
Oh, you're in so much trouble.
Otherwise, I would give it like a 2 or a 3 because before my girlfriend, it was just miserable.
You never got a
Horrible.
lick of action.
Horrible.
That's true.
And it
You
was
never
like-
got a woman to send you a message, not a one.
And it was just like a bunch of bots. They were like, oh, here, then go to my OnlyFans page or go to this page and pay me money. And it's like, nope, not doing that.
I'd love to
Wapple.
get her response. Well, no, I guess she's going to take. I bet previously she was very successful on that based on her personality and appearance.
I think Wapple's being fair with his 4 or 5.
Yeah, but he is head over heels for his, as he should be with his girlfriend. So I thought, and Ashley, I mean, I suppose you were already at a 7.
Yeah.
Even without him.
All a woman's got to say to Wapple is hi, and he's head over heels.
Yeah, that's true.
Hi. And then he gets the little hearts bubbling above his head like in the cartoon.
More anxiety than hair. Jesus rates his at a 0 out of 10.
Oh, no.
That ain't good.
No, that isn't good. There's a few people that said they're putting it at a 0.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know that have had some miserable experiences on it.
Well, meaning what? Like Wapple, where they couldn't get a hit to save their life?
Yeah.
Or psychotic people coming to their apartments and pooping in the sink?
Yeah,
Or
a little bit of both. Like you pay for because they get you. They're like, oh, pay for like the upgrade for the premium version.
Oh,
and,
and
and then all of a sudden you're paying like $30 a month and you're still not getting anything.
I
on
didn't
it.
know you had to pay for these things. Wapple, did you pay for the premium experience?
No, never did. It's like, so then you can like super like
Right,
someone, so then they know
Send them
right
a
away.
rose.
Yeah.
You super liked somebody?
No, if you had premium, you could.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
You get more swipes a day. You get more. You can super like someone. So if you swipe right in their profile, they know that you did. Like it pops right up to their feed, so
Yep.
you're on top. Then
I always
I
thought.
never hit those people up. If they sent me like a rose or super liked, I was like, weird. Don't do
Yeah.
that. That's not necessary.
So much of this is foreign to me. I didn't know you had to pay.
I mean, you don't have to, but
Oh.
if you want like an upgraded
Yeah.
experience with more perks, you can.
All right. Well, then you rate your experience, Dana, on dating apps on a scale of 1 to 10, and why?
I put mine about a 7. The only issue I met my current girlfriend on Bumble, and that was over the holidays. That was great. The only other time I'd been on it was like the summer before, and I had met a girl, and we hit it off. We had been on a few dates. We were having a lot of fun together, and then one day, she like flirtily sent me a picture of her like flipping me off, and I noticed she had a wedding ring on her finger. And I was like, what's that?
Well, you got to get off Ashley Madison. That's the whole gist of that thing, dude.
Wait a minute now. You had met up with this girl face to face and never noticed that she had on
She
a
wasn't
wedding.
wearing it when she would hang out with me.
Okay,
she was
well,
lying about the fact that she was having an affair and that she was married.
That's the hottest story I've heard all morning.
A couple of similar texts here. This person says they'd rate theirs a 10 until their wife found out about it.
Oh.
Another person rated it a 9 until his wife found out about it.
So then when the girl sent you a picture and you noticed her wedding ring, then you asked her, hey, what's up with the wedding ring? And what was her answer to that?
She immediately called me. She's like, I've been meaning to tell you. I want to get out of my marriage. I don't know how. Like I'm not in love with him. Like I'm crazy about you and this and that. And I was like, that's too much drama for my life right now.
You
I
were
don't need
dangling
that.
with a married woman.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
we've
see-
all done it by accident.
Well, that's...
That's where somebody didn't say anything until afterwards. And
Well, yeah.
then you find out that their estranged husband is in jail for assault. And you really appreciate the fact they didn't give you a heads up. I'd like an opportunity to say yes, knowing that information.
Josh and I both had almost the exact same experience. We weren't informed in any way, shape, or form that these women were married and their significant others were incarcerated until after we had sex. Oh, now you want to tell me? Thank you for telling me now.
Was your first question, when does he get out of jail?
Well, my first question, I saw, after a coitus, I saw on her dresser a picture of her and this giant athlete-looking guy. And I said, I don't recognize that person. Who is that? And she's like, oh, that's my husband. And then there was a record scratch sound effect. Like, what do you mean husband? Like ex-husband? She's like, no, it's my husband, but he's been in jail for a few months. I'm like, for what? And she said, like, aggravated assault. And I thought, well, I'm a dead man, and I had no idea. I wanted to be a pen pal with him and explain in great detail how I never would have done that. I had no idea.
Josh, you would be the guy who would send an apology letter to the guy in jail.
Hey, check the cake. There might be a nail file in there, dude.
That's not cool. That is absolutely not cool to do that to somebody. I hooked up with this gal, and we had sex, and it was good. It was really good. Then afterwards, she dumped some line about, I haven't had a piece like that in quite a while, My husband's in jail. Josh, you've known me for 25, near 30 years now. You've never seen me move as fast as I got out of there. You've never seen me move that fast. I never acknowledged your existence again. I was friggin' terrified.
I bet.
Underwhelmingly optimistic Jesus wants to know if we met those ladies on almostsingle.com.
I mean, I was pissed. I was really pissed. Okay, we don't need to dwell on that. So your dating app experiences. Dana, Ashley, pretty positive.
Yeah, very positive.
Wapple was a nightmare until you met the landlord.
Yeah, you guys both ended up with great people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, actually, you too, obviously.
Thank you.
We got someone.
I don't know why I left that out at first.
That's great because he's totally going to listen to this later and be like, what's Josh's problem?
Well, I want to go back to what I said previously. Dana Wapple, you both ended up with great people.
Speaking of Wapple's girlfriend, I was showing my mom pictures from the booze cruise and stuff, and she's like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh, that's Wapple's girlfriend. She goes, oh, my God, she's really cute. And I'm like, why are you surprised by that? What are you trying to say about my guy Wapple?
Oh, I get that all the time. I'm used to it.
Why were you surprised that she was surprised?
Yeah, how could you?
I mean, I think you're the weird one in this situation.
Yes.
No offense to Wapple, because I love the guy more than I love almost anybody.
Yes, it makes perfect sense why your mother would be surprised.
And if I was with Wapple's girlfriend, your mother should be surprised. It makes no sense.
The guy's a dork.
Yeah.
I mean, her personality,
likes me.
even if you never saw what she looks like, her personality makes no sense why she would be with one of us.
Some women like dorks.
Yep, she definitely does.
Thank God they do.
Well, this is interesting. A listener by the name of X-Ray Jesus has texted in to tell me that Tila Tequila has a metal band. Please don't play any of that.
No, I think we've played that before.
Yeah, we've discovered this.
Yeah, we played that before.
We really played Tila Tequila's metal band?
Yeah. Yep, we have.
What's she doing these days? Someone look her up on Wikipedia.
I saw
She used to do a television show, and she never wore any clothes, and she was always kissing women. I thought she was just the best.
Oh, this can't be right. I searched her, and there's pictures that supposedly show botched plastic surgery. This can't be right. That's got to be Photoshopped.
I just thought she was special.
Oh.
Yeah, you see it too?
But I know nothing about...
Yeah, I've seen some other stuff, too.
I know nothing about what's been going on with her. I don't know. When was the last time she was a television personality? A decade ago? I have no memory of when exactly she was.
Here, 2006.
Oh, God, that was a long time ago.
Oh, she's in the vape industry.
The vape industry?
Yep.
There's a vape industry.
Yep. Yeah, she sells like e-liquids, vaporizers.
All right.
Yeah.
My crush on Tila Tequila is over. I started this mess by telling Josh I wanted to run some comedy his way.
Is this from dating apps where sanity goes to die?
I believe that might have been the title. But
there's just some insanity in there.
Just a couple, 3 comments, posts that people made on dating apps that struck me really funny. And okay, so you guys tell me. Do most folks use humor to break the ice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually the common go-to.
Sometimes it's spot on, sometimes it doesn't work. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the most part.
Listen to this guy. 54-year-old man, says his name is Will. And who knows if any of this is true, but he says, I'm an aged and retired porn star. There's a photo of him standing in front of the ocean.
Does that intrigue you at all, Ashley?
No.
If somebody says, hey, I was a porn star, it doesn't do anything. Because you sure do like porn. But you like the girl stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. But it doesn't really do anything, no.
Oh, I'd have the opposite answer. I'm an aged and his photo, Josh, he's got a gray beard, long gray hair. He kind of looks like John Cleese. Anyone familiar with that name?
Sure, I like John Cleese.
Oh, comedy legend. He says, I'm an aged and retired porn star. I'm looking for a nice butt to snort crushed blood pressure medication off of.
That's pretty funny.
Kind of like Coke in the 90s, he says. Back in the early 90s, I was called a closer in the porn business. I specialized in climax shots. Kind of like a stuntman, but different.
I've never heard it referred to that way.
No, I haven't either.
Funny, though.
I'm still signing autographs for fans that recognize my junk at nudist resorts.
I recognize that schmeckle.
I'd swipe right in this guy.
He says, just don't ask where I carry the pen.
No, regarding dating, is anybody, my stepdaughter loves shows like The Bachelor, Bachelorette. She loves them. Absolutely. All that kind of reality garbage television.
Dating type shows.
That's her. Well, not just dating, but, like Kardashians, any of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She's a fan. She sent me a clip from The Bachelorette. This guy, I think his name was Spencer. And I think he might have been voted off or whatever they do. You got to look up clips of this guy. I'll tell you, he looks like he wants to eat this woman. Like he is some sort of serial killer cannibal guy. I mean, it's not going to... You have to listen to him talk, too.
He
but
has
just
a
frightening,
frightening look in his eye.
I thought she was exaggerating, and I look and I text her and said, he's going to kill this woman. And you can kind of see it in her face. She's gorgeous, of course. You can kind of see it in her face like, is he going to kill me? I hope there's a lot of security standing around.
You thought to look this up.
Yeah, if you get a chance, watch it. It's concerning.
Now, this post on a dating app really cracked me up. This is just, there's some talented people out there. This is supposedly a woman who, I don't know the verbiage, but, okay, I think I'm figuring this out on the fly. You can give a brief description of what you do for a living, okay, at the heading of your post.
In your profile, yeah.
Oh, yeah, didn't we make fun of Wapple because he had his headphones on, his work headphones?
Mm-hmm. That is the dumbest thing. Please, now my blood pressure just skyrocketed.
You gotta crush up that medication.
Yes.
You gotta find a butt, and you gotta snort it off.
A nice butt.
Right when Josh and I started to like you years ago, we found out that on your dating app profile, the picture included you wearing your radio headphones, or they were around your neck or whatever.
Yeah, it was one of my photos. It wasn't my main photo.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It made us sick to our stomach.
I hear what you're saying.
But I get it.
Well, I don't even take many photos of myself, so you need to fill it up with photos.
I hear you, but we sometimes battle the radio douchebag stereotype. And what does most radio douchebags do? They've never photographed without a microphone or their headphones or standing next to a celebrity or some sort of VIP backstage pass around their neck. They make sure, do I have a microphone here? Oh, yeah, I work at a radio station.
What's his name again over there?
That's Wapple.
Wapple, you've changed, we think, for the better. Don't get aggravated, but at the time we thought, oh, no.
So you can't look back and go, that was kind of douchey. I look back at stuff all the time and think that was douchey. I'll look back to 2 minutes ago to something I might have said and thought, that was kind of douchey.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't feel that way.
Well, I mean, what? It was just a photo that I put on there, and then all of a sudden I get blasted for it.
No, we're not blasted. It's fun. We're having fun.
We blasted you for it a decade ago.
Yeah,
we're just bringing it up again, now in a humorous fashion.
Well, that's one of us that doesn't find it very humorous.
No, he does not.
What am I supposed to say to
Nothing. I'm enjoying the fact that you're not saying anything. So, the heading of this post, of this profile, you can throw in something brief about what you do for a living. And this young lady put in, not a spy at an American workplace. And here's the post that she left. I like the American baseball, long walks on the beach, and nuclear launch codes. Oh, God, that got me. I'm looking for a strong American man to talk about the American sports, Coca-Cola, and, of course, launch codes.
That's great.
That is so well done.
Those are like those emails you get, like the spam emails somehow with all the dirty emojis in there.
Yeah.
That kind of crap.
Yeah,
Like you get those in Twitter, like DMs from like porn bots where they're like, I'm new America. I want to learn more about this.
You're right. Okay, Twitter. I haven't been on Twitter in a long time, but you're right. You'll get that, or you get like a follower request, and it's something like that.
Let me try to pull some up.
Sad Russian housewife looking for American man to hump or something like that. Waffle, you know what? You'll never be as bad as our former coworker Ross, who used his penis as his profile picture.
I try to forget about that.
Yep.
Here's one I got from a woman named Kaden. Hello, I am cheerful woman, single mom, takes care of family, explorer, and a fan of cooking. I'm looking for serious relationship, love, cuddle with another, and do things we love to do together.
Now, that's an actual message you got on a dating app?
No, on Twitter, a Twitter DM from
Twitter
from some type of spam, direct message.
She sounds nice, cheerful. That's good.
She cares about family.
She does.
Yeah, that's a positive.
She loved cuddle.
What do you think of this one, Ashley?
I don't love cuddle.
Here's a 45-year-old guy named William on a dating app, and he posted, well, he's 6'2", 255 pounds. He likes fruits and vegetables. And then he says, one day, I will be the most known serial killer of all time.
Oh, my God.
I will primarily focus on women in their 20s and 30s. For now, you are all safe, and I'm safe to date for the time being. Have a great day, and best of luck to you girls. Stay safe.
I gotta love this guy.
Come on. Oh, man.
I would have to swipe like whatever. I don't know, right? Is that the good way?
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah, I would have to. I'd want to know more.
Now, Tinder is starting to get a reputation as not just a hookup app anymore, is it not?
I'm not
does it
sure.
still
I
have
was
one?
never on Tinder.
Yeah.
I never
But
did.
that was certainly it, where we were shocked when Wapple couldn't get any because we thought it was basically like ordering a pizza. Like if you go on Tinder, you're guaranteed to get some action. But
No, I never. From people I would know that were on it, that was never the experience. Really.
Wasn't?
No.
It had that reputation for a while.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah,
it doesn't seem like it does anymore.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe that's why. Australian Jesus had good luck with internet dating. Met his wife, moved to the States.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was
cool seeing him on the boat.
Definitely.
By the way,
a dating app that brought him to America.
Yeah. I mean, technically a woman, but yeah, the dating app hooked the two of them up.
Man.
You know, sometimes these dating apps can lead to marriage. I've known a few people that have gotten married after meeting on a dating app. And yesterday we were having a conversation. Sometimes marriages, of course, lead to divorce. And we were talking about long divorces yesterday, divorces that just took a long time. Where Nick, you mentioned yours was done in 10, 15 minutes. It seemed like.
Yeah, but I got a buddy who's been dating a married woman for 12 years just simply because her husband won't pull the trigger on the deal.
Retired and young Jesus said he was listening to that conversation yesterday. His parents' divorce, he said, is required reading at Hamline University. At the time, it was the longest running divorce in the state, 8 years, and it actually changed Minnesota law.
Wow.
Whoa. Man, your folks are interesting. Are they still with us? I'd like to know further from, what's the name of the cat again?
Retired and young Jesus.
Well, if he's retired and young, maybe his folks are still with us. And if you don't mind, text Josh back. I'd like to know, how do they get along? Do they still hate each other's guts? Can they even be in the same room together? That's very interesting.
Yeah, and maybe if you don't mind, if it's not too personal, a couple of, examples of why it took so long.
Yeah.
Reasons. I mean, maybe Maybe it wasn't contentious. Maybe there's some other things going on. I'd imagine it was.
Fascinating. How are for 8 years, the dude's buddies, how are your folks doing? You don't want to know. You know what I mean?
They must be divorced now. We've gone through 2 presidents. No.
Good stuff. What a riot, the dating apps. Unbelievable. Here's the deal. Like we dumped on you already, Willi Myles and Janel Klein are both going to join us a little bit later on this morning, right around the time Randy Shaver dives into the mix, too, at 7:30. But for now, we got to take a breather. We'll be right back on the program.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
For a limited time, Sweet Deals is offering qualified listeners the vacation of a lifetime. An all-inclusive 5-day, 4-night stay in a suite for just 2 adults and up to 2 children in Cancun, Mexico for just $299. This opportunity is valued at more than $2,600. That's right, a $2,600 vacation for $299, and it's all-inclusive, meaning all your food and drinks are included. Attendance is required at a presentation for Vacation Club ownership, but who cares? There's no purchase necessary. And you have a 30-day money-back guarantee if you change your mind. Do not miss this exclusive luxury vacation offer from SweetDeals.com. $299 for 4 nights at an all-inclusive resort in beautiful Cancun, Mexico. Go to SweetDeals.com right now and snag this once-in-a-lifetime offer. That's SweetDeals.com.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Stupid news, he said, huh? I, for one, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to begin in Toronto, Canada. The Great White North, Bob and Doug McKenzie called it back in the day, don't you know? Take off to the Great White North. Take off. It's a beauty way to go. Did you have that cassette tape, Josh?
I did.
Yeah.
I think I saw the movie Strange Brew no less than 100 times.
Sure you did. Yeah, you had nothing else going on. They're going to have to go ahead and close the bar at the Toronto police station. Isn't that something? They had a bar inside the cop shop, dude?
We could easily fit a bar in this building, but we don't have one.
Jesus, we could have the Twin Cities' most elaborate nightclub in this building.
Yeah, thanks to all the firings, we've got a huge building that, is just basically empty.
There's a lot of space in here.
A lot of garbage running around.
Yeah, it's just trash everywhere.
Yeah,
there are a couple of empty rooms in this building, large enough to where we could be hosting floor hockey tournaments.
Yeah.
We could be playing slam ball.
You just got to watch out for the discarded old computer monitors that are like scattered all over the floor.
They are old, aren't they?
They are old.
Those things are deep.
Either that or landline telephones.
Oh, shoot.
We can dump all that in the river.
There's a pile of those landline like a huge pile, like the size of a sedan.
They had a damn bar at the Toronto police station, but now they got says here, a licensed, fully stocked bar inside a lounge for senior officers at the Toronto police station's headquarters is being shut smooth down. One of the cops apparently effed up. He had too many Elsinores, and then he got pinched for one of those DWIs.
I bet he's not very popular.
Yeah, one person to ruin it for everybody else.
He screwed it up. I mean, you hear about some of the newer police stations will have gyms and things like that in there, but a bar, that's a new one.
That's cool.
Yeah, isn't that how it goes? They got a cool little thing happening, and then some donkey has to get cute and screw the whole thing into the ground. Sounds like this little drinking lounge there at the police headquarters had been up and running since back in 1900 plus 89. But this past April. So what was that, a couple, 3 months ago? A Toronto cop hung around the lounge for about 3 hours, and then he slapped his police-issued SUV into another vehicle and was charged with impaired driving.
Where's he going to get a Molson Ice now? How many behind bars jokes do you think they made? Maybe in 1989 when it first opened, or maybe the new guy throws one out, thinking that the veterans hadn't heard that a million times.
The cops say they rarely hung around the bar and drank, and that the joint was only used for special occasions, but she's all over now.
Yeah.
Trying to think the coolest thing we have in this building. I guess it would be our new vending machines. That's pretty hot. And that was a popular topic on company email, that's for sure.
Yeah, a lot of reply alls were. Although I was excited. I think I texted Wapple and Ashley immediately.
Yep, you did.
This was like our long national nightmare is over.
I don't think I've seen the new vending machines. They're pretty fancy and schmancy.
They are, a little of both. You wouldn't have seen them because it was just like last week or maybe even Monday, or that would have been yesterday. I'm not sure. It was very recent.
The fact that they work is what makes them fancy, because the last one's not so much.
Yeah, the only thing I'm a little bummed out about is that they don't have Monster anymore. That was like my emergency if I needed caffeine.
Oh, yeah? Well, they've got, it's just the 12-ounce cans in there. No more 20-ouncers.
I like cans, though.
Oh, yeah, we all do. We all do.
Well, isn't this cute? Last Thursday in a town called Quincy, Illinois, some wacky-ass derelict robbed a laundromat while dressed in a full-on adult-sized bunny costume.
This is on 93x.com.
93x.com, she says. The cops are now on the lookout for tricks or bugs or whatever pop culture bunny name you want to hang on him. A lot of folks say, if you watch the video, he kind of comes off like Ralphie from A Christmas Story when he's got his bunny outfit on.
Mm-hmm.
According to the local cops, the bunny burglary happened to the unlucky suckers who ran a laundry joint called Winners Wash Laundromat in the early morning hours of, I believe it was last Thursday. Yeah, that's what I said. Surveillance camera footage captured this loser rummaging through drawers and throwing stolen items into his little bunny backpack. Anyone in the neighborhood with information on this clown is being asked to call the police and help him out.
Yeah, I wonder, was that just for comedy? Or maybe he wants the cops to give him a cool nickname, or like that's going to be his thing? I didn't see a bushy tail on there, so he's not complete.
You're not fully committed to the bit?
Yeah.
He's not, bouncing around either. That was a letdown.
You wanted him to hop?
Yeah.
Come on, commit, man.
You would have hoped he would have committed to his character a little more.
Yeah, go 100%.
Sure, just hippity hopping up and down. It looked to me, and it would make sense, I guess, if you're at a laundromat, although I haven't been in a laundromat since 1978, but it appeared that he stole a massive change jar. Did you see that in the video?
I don't know what it was, but yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story about a buddy of mine, unfortunately had his house broken into? And...
Been there.
Right. Sucks. Don't get me wrong. I would be so bothered by such a thing. But, ball busting is just what we do. This friend of mine had his house broken into. Luckily, he doesn't own a damn thing that's worth anything. And trust me, I'm not exaggerating. The guy still sleeps in a single bed, okay? He doesn't own a damn thing of value. So I think the robbers must have walked in and said, a grown man really lives here? I mean, honestly. They swiped, I think some kind of old computer. What were we just talking about? Old computer screens?
Monitors. Yeah.
Monitors is the word. Mm-hmm. I think they stole that, and they stole the big fat-ass change jar that he had. Right?
They probably saw the place and thought, somebody already beat us to the punch and robbed everything. Somebody already got the good stuff.
You're right. If you knew this dude, I mean, he really, if you walked into his place, You would think that an 11-year-old lives there. Tiny little bed, a little TV, a little chair. But anyway, so they took some probably out-of-date computer monitor and a big fat change jar. Now, dude was really bothered by this, but since we're his longtime buddies, we have to be merciless about it. So for about a month stretch of time, whenever he would walk into my house, someone would grab my change jar in the other room and just rattle it, just to remind him.
You used to have one of these.
Yeah.
My wife, when she was a server for many years, saved all her coins, and she had a few huge change jars. It funded a trip to Disney World.
Oh, wow.
For her. She had so many of those things. Needed help carrying them all to the bank.
Those were the
They
days.
love that. I'm sure they love it. Well, you worked at a bank, Ashley. Now they have the machines. Did they when you worked there?
Yeah, thankfully, but the bank that I worked at, they actually went back to rolling the quarters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really glad I don't have to do that.
Do you folks still have a big old change jar that you don't?
Yeah,
I donated at the wherever I'm at.
I always
they usually have a jar there for something.
Oh, I see what you mean. When you hit the gas station, you might throw them, you lose change. What were you saying?
I always forget that, like, I want to save my quarters, though. I end up using them for, I'm sure you know how this goes, for pool whenever I get them.
Oh, billiards. Pocket billiards.
Yeah.
So anyway, we would torture our buddy by rattling our change jars whenever he was at our homes and saying, is this kind of what it sounded like when they kicked in your door? And he hated us for that, but for good reason. I've told you before, Josh, I'm sure, my dad being an over-the-road truck driver for 40-plus years, he would always come home with, every trip he made, I bet he would come home with $6, $7 worth of change in his pocket. You stop at the truck stop, you get a lot lizard, you buy some speed, whatever. He always had, a lot of loot.
Lizards carry change?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's impressive.
Back in the 70s. So he had this massive change jar, my dad. And my brother and I, being sneaky pricks when we were kids, he would often task us. Well, when we would ask for money, he'd say, well, take the change jar up to the bank and you can split whatever's in there. He never, ever paid attention to just how much money he had in that friggin' thing. We would go up there and turn that thing in. It'll be $300 worth of change for a couple of 13-year-olds. And then my dad would say, did you go to the bank? Yeah. How much was in there? $100. But really we had like $300. He was a sucker like that. He never paid attention.
Have you ever tried one of those, hey, if you can guess the amount of change or guess the amount of gumballs in this jar, you win it?
I suck at those.
I've seen
the
one or
change
two.
I was way off.
Were you?
Yeah, it was way more money, just like with your dad, way more money than I ever would have thought.
He just never paid attention, and he believed us every time. It was highway robbery.
So Pumpin' Munch Jesus just checked in and said, what's a lot lizard? It's funny because I used that reference yesterday to my daughter's going out of town, and they kept pushing her flight back, and I'm like, well, hey, maybe you can pick up a lot lizard, And and the family's like, what the hell's a lot lizard? I'm like, no one here has heard the term lot lizard?
Were you guys in the dark when I said that?
No, I know what it is.
Oh, it's an old school reference that truckers used to use to describe truck stop prostitutes.
Ladies of the night.
The oldest profession?
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody said, well, maybe they have one at an airport. I don't know. Just look for one. But nobody knew what I was talking about. Hanging parts and painting parts. Or painting parts, Jesus. Said his local fire department has a bar in it. So as Toronto, we mentioned they can't have a bar anymore. Somebody screwed it up for all the other cops, his police station. And he gets busted for D-Dub. They take the bar out. And I had wondered, what's the coolest thing we have in this building? And we really couldn't come up with much other than our new vending machines. But if you've got something cool at your work, text us. 651-989-9393. I mean, you hear about these places where they'll have like a child care, a laundromat, everything you might need to do during the workday that'd be tough to do afterwards. They've got it there. Or like, you hear about like Google or something that has napping pods.
Yeah.
Video game rooms.
Damn,
like
wouldn't that be? That would be incredible.
We had a cereal bar at the last place I worked before here.
That sounds great.
Sweet.
It was in a gym too. I use one more often than the other. I bet you can't guess which is which.
So, was it free, like the cereal bar?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Did you guys have a cafeteria and stuff too?
Yeah.
Like where you could buy food from
Yeah, when I worked at KSTP, they had a cafeteria, like a full-on. You could, go down and they'd make you grilled cheese or whatever.
What?
Weird.
When you worked where?
So it was a radio station called 1500 ESPN. It was in the KSTP Channel 5 building.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I don't know. We've never had anything quite like that. That's very interesting. Here's a listener who says he's got a golf simulator somewhere.
Wow. That'd be so cool.
Popcorn machine, slot machine, car wash.
Car wash?
Golf simulator at a window/door company.
That's
wow.
awesome.
Kind of backwards.
Yeah.
We break a lot of glass in this place.
Thankfully, I know a guy who can replace that window.
Someone or another's got a popcorn machine.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, did you say that?
This
I'm
person
sorry, I
has
blew
a
it.
gym, Gatorade fountain machine, high-tech vending machines.
F me.
See, that would be sweet if we could get like a fountain pop machine.
That would be nice.
That'd be so cool.
Soda fountain sodas?
I love those. Finisher Jesus said at his work he has a boss who's younger than him and a jackass. What? A bar, arcade games, pool table, workout room.
How about a 30-year-old coffee pot that makes everything taste like ass?
Hey, we've got one of those. Actually,
No, we do not.
Somebody took the coffee pot and it's never been replaced.
This is really incredible, Josh. Ever since you brought up what are some of the cool things you have at your workplace, a napping room, a video game, this and that, it's unbelievable. The text machine is rattling off like crazy here.
Oh, Ash.
With all the cool bonuses some of you have at your workplace.
You're going to be jealous.
What?
We have 3 or 4 people who have texted in saying their workplace has a hot dog roller.
Oh.
I would love that so much.
I'm over here reading about beer vending machines.
Pizza ovens.
I had no idea this was happening anywhere.
What are we doing with our lives?
Huh. All right,
This is
well,
cool.
I'll have to read up on this. So back to the stupid news. We had the guy in the bunny outfit robbing a laundromat. Costumes must be the hot new thing in crime. Costumes and crime is the theme here. Now I have here for you in Columbus, F me run in Ohio, I have what appears to be a fully grown adult wearing a ladybug onesie who went ape-ass at a neighborhood liquor store. The ladybug character smashed wine bottles on the floor and then chased employees around the joint before walking on out of there. This was all caught on camera, too. A local cop said the suspect, the adult in a ladybug costume, became irate and then threatened to hit an employee with a bottle of wine.
People become irate a lot these days.
They do. And then they smashed 2 bottles of wine on the floor at the feet of the employee and then chased him around the store.
God, I'd be embarrassed to run, but you'd have to. She's wearing a ladybug onesie.
Is it a lady in that costume?
Oh, I thought it was.
I think so.
I can't be sure.
Yeah,
It's up on 93x.com.
yeah, I think that's a lady.
Well, the suspect left the crime before the cops left the scene, I should say, before the cops arrived. So we don't know what happened to the ladybug.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. That would suck because you don't want to run.
You're humbled. It's like
have
today
to.
when you get carjacked by an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Carrying a weapon. I mean, what are you going to do? All right, here's the keys. God dang, this sucks. Humbling.
You want to hear about more bonuses at the workplace?
Yeah.
Cool little gimmicks that folks have going at their workplace. This is truly fascinating. Here's a listener who says we have a cool incentive program where if you do a good job, you get to do other people's jobs too.
I bet that's common at a lot of workplaces. Big Scoop Jesus says they have a glory hole at their job. We had one of those for a little bit. We sure did.
Did it ever get put to use, do you know of?
Not that I'm aware of.
It's pretty tall.
Yeah, it was way up high.
You almost need a ladder.
Oh, that makes
Wow.
it tough.
Now this is interesting. Do you really have hemorrhoid wipes in all the bathrooms at your workplace?
Interesting. I've never tried one of those. Maybe I should.
You ever tried the cream that you kind of dab? You or a friend dabs on the hemorrhoid?
I haven't tried anything.
Let me tell you something, Josh.
I just ride it out.
Can I tell you something? Stop riding it out. I got myself some of that hemorrhoid cream, and I had a close friend apply it for me. I'm kidding, of course. I would never do that. I did it myself. It's instant relief. It's magical, Josh.
Really?
Is what it is. Absolutely miraculous.
I don't like to go back there.
No, nobody does.
Some people do. Blue Collar Brawler Cheeses said at their work, cryotherapy, free chiropractor, cold tub, sauna, table hockey, shuffleboard, and a physical rehab center.
Dude.
It's just, I've never heard anything like this in my life.
We've got a lot of dust. We've got stained carpeting.
Yep.
We've got some pretty questionable stains on the carpeting.
Yeah. That looks
that
like
one in the
somebody's
front
murdered.
hall is terrible.
Dude, seriously.
That should be investigated.
It looks very sus.
That's very DNA-ish.
Yeah.
Where is this now? What?
On the by the front door.
Oh, I haven't looked.
Josh, have you seen my keyboard for this computer?
No.
Look at it. It's like from 1974.
I think I saw that in the movie War Games.
And the best part is, it says quiet key on it, but when you type,
It's so loud.
it's so loud. It's so loud.
A lot of semen on that thing, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, there are still sophisticated criminals out there, like what you might see in the movies. I mean, the guy with the bunny costume, the gal with the ladybug costume, they got their thing going, but there are still more sophisticated criminals out there. Here's one. Police are investigating a burglary at a Southern California wine shop where a thief stole over $500,000 worth of high-end wine and liquor. $500,000 worth of hooch, huh?
It's a good amount of hooch.
Maybe the more sophisticated the location, the more polished and professional the criminal. I don't know. Here's the deal. The burglary happened during the early hours of June 30th at a place by the name of Lincoln Fine Wines in Venice, California. According to a police report, a man wearing a mask, hoodie, and a baseball cap arrived at the store in a white pickup with no license plates. He then broke into the store by cutting a hole into the roof and lowering himself into the store with a rope.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty sweet. Yeah, I like that.
Ashley approved.
It was a 4-hour robbery. And it sounds to me like he did this all by himself. He took more than 600 bottles of wine and liquor. He targeted the more expensive stuff. Now, I know jack squat about expensive booze and wine, but it says here among the stolen items was a bottle of Chateau Petrus.
Sounds fancy.
Valued at $4,500. He stole a rare Scottish whiskey, valued at $6,000.
So homeboy did his homework, too.
Homeboy and the homework.
Well, that's true. I'd be lost. I wouldn't know what to get.
They think it might have been an inside job.
It had to have been.
Sure.
Because he knew where to go to find the expensive stuff. He had an understanding of the store's layout, they say. You know, I wonder if maybe they had any Boone's Farm in there. Boone's Farm strawberry.
I chugged some of those in St. Cloud basements in my day.
For those who are going to hit up BIR this summer, maybe they still keep some Boone's Farm strawberry in there. This Ocean's 11 style dude, he cut loose. The owner of the store is effing heartbroken, the poor bastard. I feel bad for that guy. He said, it's very hard for me to digest all my hard work gone within a couple of hours. So, he covered up some security cameras. There is still footage of the guy running around the store, but it sounds like he had, like we discussed, he had some inside information about cameras and where the expensive stuff was. A week before, maybe it was, where is this? A week before the caper, some of the store's security cameras and sensors were disabled. So this guy was quite prepared and all that.
Yeah, you do feel for that owner.
Now, right. F this Ocean's 11 punk bitch. I hope they get this bastard, because the owner of the store is just ready to give up on life. But some customers have been supporting him. Sunday, nearly 200 customers showed up. twice as many as normal to try to, put a few bucks in this guy's pocket after this happened.
That's nice.
I wonder if they insure those liquor bottles that are worth $6,000 and $4,500, like you said.
It's a very good question, Cubby. Very good question.
Nobody here would be able to taste the difference, right?
No, no.
I can't imagine. That would be wasted on me, and I can't imagine ever spending that amount of money on a beverage.
No.
Waffle, I've heard you like to partake in marijuana.
Mm-hmm. Once in a while.
If there was like a strain that was just so sought after, would you spend in the thousands of dollars to try it out?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
I mean, I know you're a radio guy, so that I'm just saying, let's pretend you came into some money.
Yeah, it would take years and years and years and years to get there.
Yeah, do you have layaway?
A drug dealer that offers a payment plan.
Yeah, one of those pay now, buy later services.
Interest or something.
That's a good question, Josh. And you're probably right that most folks probably can't taste the difference between a $6,000 bottle of hooch and a $60 bottle of hooch.
I would feel so terrible if somebody was trying to treat me and say, have this glass of wine. I've been waiting to open this bottle of wine for a special occasion. I happen to be there. I'd have to turn them down because it would be completely wasted on me.
People do get kind of touchy about that. I like all of my whiskey, and I'll have always with ice. And some whiskeys or scotch, you're not supposed to drink them with ice, and people will just light me up for that.
Oh, who the hell can keep up with that nonsense anyway? For
Yeah,
God's
I
sake?
like it cold. I'm sorry.
She likes it cold.
She sure does.
So you're probably right. Most folks probably can't tell the difference between the expensive stuff and the cheaper stuff. But thinking back, years ago, I was talking on this program about the cheap beers that we would go after when we were in high school. We didn't have any effing money. Mm-hmm. And, you get a couple of your buddies to grow a beard and go buy some beer on the weekend. We always, at least when we were really young, we targeted the cheapest stuff. And at the time, Black Label, I think, we get a case of Black Label beer. Canadian beer, I believe. Some of you younger folks probably never heard of it, but Black Label was the cheap one. So I'm talking about this on the air. This is 15 some odd years ago, and I remember a college kid at the time got a hold of me and said, "You got to try out this cheap beer." So this is 15 years ago. This was the popular cheap beer at the U of M. Okay, and I ended up running into this guy, and he gave me a can of this cheap stuff from 2003. And I'll tell you what, you could taste the difference.
Yeah, you could.
It was absolutely unbearably bad. Yeah. So that, for beer, I could tell this is the cheapest effing stuff around.
And as I got a little older, I stopped drinking the Old Milwaukee's Best Light ice. Old Milwaukee's Best Ice.
Sure.
Oh, man. That would put hair in your chest back in the day, though.
It toughened you up. Mm-hmm. All right.
I had somebody buy me a fancy shot of tequila once, and they were explaining to me why this was so good and whatever, and I had to pretend like, oh man, best I've ever had. It tasted like tequila to me.
Yeah.
Could have been a
they're like, isn't that smooth? I'm thinking, well, I don't know. I mean, it's a liquid.
It burns a little still.
All right, we got to wrap this up. One more here for you. None of us should ever complain about our mothers ever again after I dump this next story on you. Sure, your mother might be nosy. Sound off, by the way, if you ever have issues with your mother over any of these things, okay? Sound off if you can relate to this. Sure, your mama might be nosy.
No, not really.
Are some of you a little too afraid to say something about their mothers?
Yep.
Yeah, she's nosy.
I don't like to bring my mom up because I know people are going to text in issues they have with my mother, not their own mothers.
Sure, your mother might be an expert on everything, even if she has absolutely zero experience in whatever the subject at the time might be. Oh, come on, you guys. I'm not surprised. Josh is biting his lip. All right, fine. I won't even go any further. I want to try one more. Sure, your mother might be currently actively cheating on your dad.
Oh, jeez.
Huh? Nobody?
No, I don't think that's happening.
All right. My point is, no matter what issues you might have with your mama, At least, I think I'm sure of this amongst the five of us, at least she never shot you multiple times during a fight over video games.
I hope she's never done that.
No.
An Atlanta mother is in custody, accused of shooting her teenage son during an argument over a video game console.
Thank God my mom doesn't play video games. I'm safe.
I kind of want to know what console does. Does it say in the story?
No, it doesn't. Cops showed up after reports of someone being shot. They found a 17-year-old kid shot multiple times. Police haven't shared an update on his condition. God, I hope he makes it. That's terrible. The shooter was the kid's 31-year-old mother by the name of Jaquana Butler. Cops say the shooting happened while Butler and her son argued over a video game console.
You said you wanted to know which one. Is one more acceptable to shoot your offspring over, or why were you curious?
I'd shoot somebody over my Nintendo Switch.
In what way? Like, what would they have to do to warrant bullets from Dana's gun?
Try to damage...
Which, by the way, I bet looks just like the Duck Hunt gun.
It does, yes. If they were going to damage it or maybe delete my Zelda file, yeah, I'd probably shoot somebody.
Delete, yeah.
I have heard you guys get real pissed about that kind of stuff. The deleting your progress or something like that.
That's the absolute worst.
Yep, happened to me. It was awful.
So I guess the lesson learned here is that your mother isn't so bad now after all, is she?
Yeah, she's got a bad history, too.
Yes. Sue knows better than to mess with my Nintendo Switch.
Your promiscuous mothers aren't so bad after all. Got to take a break. Be right back on the program.
They want to glorify the fact that...
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Alex, they were saying in the booth that you were built for a moment like this. How are you feeling? And walk me through the night that curve was working as well as it ever has.
Man, holy shit. How about that, Detroit? How about
there we go.
Taking it through the rain? Let's go! Come on, yeah!
We apologize for what you might have just heard there.
That was one of those pitchers from the Detroit Tigers who tossed that combined no-hitter a few days ago. Then he had to swear on the friggin' microphone.
He was excited.
Unbelievable with the language coming out of these guys. I watched last night's home run derby. I watched pretty much the whole stinking thing. I enjoyed myself.
It was fun.
I enjoyed it. The winner was Vladimir Guerrero, Part 2 of the Toronto Blue Jays. So now he and his dad have both won a home run derby.
That's really cool.
That part did disappoint me because I was still holding the hope that me and my dad would be the first to both win a home run derby.
Yeah, but combined, the both of you have how many career home runs at the home run derby?
0.
None of you.
Yeah.
You haven't hit, neither one of you have hit one yet. Vlad Guerrero, Part 2. He defeated the young fella there from Tampa Bay, Randy Arozarena, who was very entertaining to watch.
I was trying to think of my finest accomplishment that maybe my son could win the same thing. And the only thing I could come up with, and this is big, and I want you guys to look at me the same, because I'm still the same guy.
Sure.
Same guy as you already know.
I understand.
Nick, you know this, but the rest of you might not know that I am a 1993 winner of the Louis Armstrong Jazz Band Award.
Dude.
So maybe when my son's in high school, he'll win it, and the legacy will continue.
That's a big concern for a lot of fathers, is to continue the legacy.
Yeah, I've met a few that want to continue, and sometimes I have to ask, oh, there was a legacy.
Right.
I didn't realize that.
Right. Well, that'd be great if your son could also win the Louis Armstrong Jazz Band Award.
My finest accomplishment.
I won the 1990 Wayzata High School Heart Week Air Guitar Championship.
Oh. That's cool.
That's pretty sweet.
I won 2 not Louis Armstrong. I already said that one. Oh my gosh, Martin Luther King Jr. Writing Awards.
Writing Awards. I thought you were going to bring up the Writing Awards, and then you brought up the Jazz Band Award.
I thought that was sillier and nerdier. I'm actually pretty proud of the writing.
You should be proud of all of them. How did you win the Jazz Band Award?
They just gave it to the guy who couldn't win any of the other awards.
Oh!
Josh was the only guy in the jazz band.
It was essentially, and not to disrespect anybody who's won, anybody else who may have won it. I can just tell you, in my case, specifically for me, I was one of the only seniors, and they had some other more prestigious ones you could get, and they just gave it to me kind of as a participation trophy.
Oh, they did not. What were you playing, the electric guitar?
Guitar and bass. I promise you it was, in my case, a participation trophy.
But you always say things like that about yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm just being real. Can we stop being nice and start getting real?
Find out what happens.
Yeah.
You always dummy down your importance to the world. You do. The All-Star Game is tonight, 7 o'clock on Channel 9. I'll always watch the All-Star Game.
Does it still mean home field advantage here, or do they take that away?
No, it does not mean.
They took it away.
It doesn't mean jack squat.
Just fun.
Just like it never used to, mean anything. And what I'm saying is there was no reward for winning the All-Star Game for many years. It was just league pride, and then they flipped it over to the World Series. Now
I thought people liked that. When they added that.
I really don't remember.
There's some skin in the game.
I always thought it was kind of silly that, my team's home field advantage could be decided by some dude who plays in the National League that I've never seen play before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me one way or the other, but
I feel you.
I'll always watch the All-Star Game, similar to the World Series. And you got to watch even when I was in the cooler, we watched the World Series. We had a riot. Two twins might be seen tonight, Sonny Gray and Pablo Lopez. We'll get into more of this in about a half hour. Randy Shaver going to be here. So is the hot new couple, Janel Klein and Willi Myles. Josh's News is coming up next.
You're listening to the radio. The 93 Ags Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep, going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
Mayor Khalid, I would say he's a passionate mayor. He uses this tagline a lot that people know him by as the people's mayor. He genuinely cares for the people.
A Georgia mayor was arrested over the weekend after a bizarre incident in which he was allegedly caught breaking into a lake house in his jurisdiction, sparking a war of words with the property owner. The entire situation began when the homeowner said he spotted South Fulton Mayor Khalid Kamau inside, prompting him to call police.
What the hell's he doing in there?
Well, you're going to love why. When the mayor left, the homeowner said he told him to stay put, but Kamau kept walking, prompting the homeowner to shout again. The homeowner claimed that Kamau shot back with, "Do you know who the F I am?
Oh!
I'm the mayor. And I'll wait for my police to get here and see what happens then."
That's how you do it right there when you're the mayor.
Now, the mayor's side of the story was different. He said the homeowner yelled, "No, hold on, I'm afraid I'm going to say it, MFer, you stay right there," when he tried to leave the house. He added that when he tried to introduce himself, the homeowner branded a gun and said, "If you take another step, I'm going to shoot you."
It's getting serious now.
The mayor also told police he knew he was trespassing, but said the house is his dream home, and he just wanted to purchase the property. He said in the report he told the homeowner who he was and apologized, and he also thanked the police department.
Mayor, why were you on that property?
I just wanted to see the house. I do apologize to the owners. I thought it was abandoned. I do want to thank the South Fulton Police and the staff and officers at Rice Street for their courteous and professional service throughout the day today.
I don't know what kind of guy he is, but I don't think you're allowed just to walk into your dream home if you don't own it.
Are you buying that I thought it was abandoned story?
I don't know, maybe.
Let me call my police.
That's pretty... If he said that, or do you know who the F I am?
Yeah,
Come on.
I think we know what kind of person we're dealing with here.
Yeah, if he really said that. He was ultimately charged with criminal trespass and first-degree burglary.
Jeez, what a bizarre effing dude.
That's weird, isn't it? Meanwhile, in Colombia, a mayoral candidate announced he'll be selling nudes on OnlyFans to fund his campaign. The candidate went on to encourage his fans to support the project by subscribing to the OnlyFans page to help his campaign succeed.
Well, that sounds kind of fun, right?
Yeah. He's a good-looking guy.
All right.
I'll sign up.
Yeah, it'd be rude not to.
I mean, I'd like to know, the platform he's running on.
Yeah.
So I probably should investigate that first. He said he's turning to the subscription site to raise funds for his candidacy to become mayor in October and encouraged his fans to subscribe.
Dong pics and the whole works?
Yeah, he said they will be tasteful. Artistry. But nude.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Nude and tasteful.
Wanted to be a little bit more filthy.
Maybe if you pay a little
extra, send a little tip.
Then and he'll send you one. Then here at home, a state representative from St. Cloud was arrested last week after allegedly driving while under the influence. According to an incident report from the Minnesota State Patrol, the 32-year-old was arrested Friday after troopers received a complaint someone was drinking in a liquor store parking lot. A trooper located the vehicle associated with that complaint, weaving within its lane while driving without a front license plate, and it had expired rear tabs. According to the report, the officers observed signs of alcohol impairment and placed the lawmaker under arrest for suspicion of driving while impaired. A 34-year-old man with a history of drunken driving was arrested after he allegedly led officers on a chase in a stolen Kansas City Area Transportation Authority bus. The bus was reported stolen around 12:20 a.m.
So like a big old MTC-style bus?
Yeah, like a city bus.
Word?
Police followed with lights and sirens until the driver pulled over to avoid some stop sticks. They pried open the doors and forcefully removed the man from the bus. Adam Voigt is his name. He allegedly smelled of alcohol and exhibited signs of impairment during the encounter. In response to questions from the media, a spokeswoman for Kansas City Transit said the bus was parked for a layover while its operator was out taking a leak. She said the bus was running at the time, but its doors were closed and the handbrake was on. Accessing the vehicle would have required prying its doors open, she said.
Yeah.
The bus was undamaged. Online records show the man's bond was revoked and reset in 2 earlier cases of alleged drunken driving. One case stemmed from an August 2021 incident when Kansas City firefighters broke the window of a Jeep whose driver was passed out behind the wheel. He registered a blood alcohol content nearly twice the legal limit at that time. 2 months later, he was arrested for an alleged DWI hit and run involving another vehicle and a downtown Kansas City bus. This guy has a history with buses.
Yeah, he really likes them.
Court records also show he has 4 DWI convictions in Missouri dating back to 2008. A man wanted on drug charges leaped off a Sun Country flight in an attempt to escape officers waiting for him at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. The 44-year-old New Brighton man was aboard Flight 346, arriving from Orlando Sunday night, when he found out officers were waiting to arrest him. In a last-ditch effort to flee, the man decided to pop open the emergency exit door as other passengers were getting off the flight at about 11:15 p.m. He then jumped from the aircraft to the tarmac below, evading officers.
Wouldn't you just break both your legs?
Yeah, I don't
You
know.
would think, yeah.
But, I mean, I guess you're desperate.
Yeah.
You're making things worse for yourself. You're never going to get away. There's a couple of cops at airports.
Yeah. They got like fences and everything.
The suspect was arrested a half hour later when an airport employee found him hiding inside a food service truck. Airport police noted they had been alerted the man was arriving in Minneapolis Sunday, with the suspect wanted for drug charges out of Wright County. Airport operations were reportedly not impacted.
That's funny.
A man was injured after police said he accidentally shot himself in a grocery store in Connecticut Saturday. Officers were called to a Stop and Shop parking lot about 6:15 p.m. after getting a report from a man who said he accidentally shot himself. According to police, the 23-year-old sustained a gunshot wound from the accidental discharge. He said he was carrying the gun while in the store and it just went off.
You don't know
that's
where.
Embarrassing.
You don't know where it hit him.
Didn't say. Lower body, I'd imagine.
They would have told you if it was the penis.
Yeah, they always mention
Yeah.
it. It would have been in the headline.
Yeah, you have to be.
If they left that detail out,
someone should be fired.
Shame on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, shame on them.
My brain stopped working. I didn't know what to say after that. But I knew it would be bad. In a quarrel over cooking boneless chicken wings, Dana's preferred wing.
Stop that.
A server at a New Orleans Applebee's pinned a coworker's foot under her car and then beat him about the head and face. The dispute erupted over how long the cooks were taking to make the chicken. 26-year-old Bo Derek Danya Kyra Ford grew angry at a cook who said something to her, but for some reason snapped at a different cook. She allegedly told the second cook her brother would pop him after work. When her shift ended at 11 p.m., Ford waited outside the restaurant. The second cook emerged at 11:30 p.m. to walk home, but she tried to hit him with her car and then followed him to a nearby parking lot. There, she's accused of running over his foot and pinning it.
That would hurt.
Then her brother grabbed the cook's head as Ford beat him, leaving him with a swollen face and a cut over his left eye.
Oh, my damn.
Ford was booked with aggravated battery.
Her brother did show up.
Yeah, he did. Luckily, he didn't pop him, but she sure did. Man, she whooped his ass.
Bo Derek are the first two names.
That's the first name.
On her driver.
Bo Derek.
Her first name is Bo Derek.
Bo Derek Danya Kyra Ford.
F me.
Wow.
A douchebag creeping on young girls at a Georgia Walmart was arrested after allegedly touching the butts of two customers and taking upskirt photos of others.
All of a sudden, he just stands there and he just puts the phone right under my skirt. This doesn't surprise me that this happens, and I'm sure it happens a lot.
33-year-old Gary Moultrie was arrested after a wild foot chase throughout the aisles of the Superstore, which finally ended in the Garden Center. Police body cam footage shows officers meeting with the store security team to track down the alleged peeping pervert as he roved through the store, snapping more upskirt photos and touching more girls' butts. Store employees told the officers that he was in the store the previous day and had touched another girl's butt.
What's he doing?
Walking around grabbing
He's right there. He is. This dude here?
Yeah. He's circling. He's like the second one. He's tried to, or this is the first one we caught on camera.
That's the security team talking to police. Employees were unable to find the man before he left the store on the day prior, but the registered sex offender returned the next day, and the employees immediately contacted the cops.
Yesterday he was in here and reported that he grabbed her butt. And then we were looking for him, but he got out before we could get to him.
Oh, he's taking pictures of her.
Yeah, he's taking pictures of her skirt.
All right, yeah. He's done. That's good.
As officers closed in on the man who was eventually trapped in the garden center, he pretended his daughter needed help. "My daughter is like right there, and she needs some help right now," he yelled at the cops as he pointed toward the parking lot and tried to get away. Police weren't fooled and arrested him after chasing him around the garden center.
Jeez, I wish I could see video of that chase.
Just an old
Benny Hill
school.
music.
Yes, exactly.
This guy's just an old school upskirt butt touch kind of a perv, huh?
Yeah. An alleged thief was arrested after police say he repeatedly stole from a Walmart store while posing as a worker. Police said the man used a disabled fire exit to repeatedly steal several shopping carts filled with goods from a Mississippi Walmart. 47-year-old Joseph Hollingsworth was spotted going in and out of the store over a 7-hour period in late June. Police say he was wearing a vest similar to Walmart employees as he committed the crimes, filling several shopping carts with goods and even stealing 2 large kayaks in the process.
Jeez, wait for it.
Police said Hollingsworth used a disabled fire exit to go in and out of the store unnoticed. He's also suspected of similar thefts at a Walmart in Louisiana as well.
How many kayaks do they have? Not enough. I'll tell you that right now. Not enough.
Never kayaked.
No, me neither.
It's a lot of fun.
Canoed.
I used to like it quite a bit.
I was the best in the county at one point or another at kayaking.
Yeah, couldn't you roll?
I could do every damn thing you want me to do in a kayak, Ashley.
That's so sweet.
I should have hung on to it. I should have pursued kayaking.
Yeah, man.
In high school, I could go faster than a sumbitch and spin under wide, do everything.
A man was arrested after deputies said he jumped from car to car, in a Home Depot parking lot, causing thousands of dollars in damages. He's 36. 36-year-old Michael Banks faces charges in connection to the car surfing incident, quote unquote, that occurred around 1:55 p.m. last Monday at a Florida Home Depot. Deputies said they responded to the parking lot after a witness reported seeing Banks climb on top of a van and proceed to jump onto a pickup truck. He then jumped from the truck onto an SUV, a Jeep, another SUV, and a sedan, causing damage to the hoods and roofs of multiple vehicles. Banks told deputies he decided to go, quote, car surfing after leaving the Home Depot that day.
You're 36 years old.
Yeah, come on.
It's like Like when little kids jump from curb to curb or something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, at least Johnny Knoxville got a television show where that at least appeared to be somewhat fun and entertaining. This guy's just doing it on his own.
Yeah, he's a millionaire because of that. Johnny Knoxville is it.
This guy was just doing it for the love of the game.
Love of the game. Today on Peacock, Myth of the Zodiac Killer Season 1. An English professor lays out a stirring theory on America's most famous cold case, launching a filmmaker on a journey into the world of the Zodiac.
It's America's most famous cold case.
Nobody has come close to cracking this for over 50 years.
What if there is no Zodiac killer?
What if there wasn't a Zodiac killer?
Oh, interesting.
The Major League Baseball All-Star Game airs tonight on Fox, and the second season finale of How I Met Your Father, now on Hulu. 93X has your shot to meet Godsmack and Stained in Las Vegas, Sin City. Win airfare for two-night hotel stay, premium seats to the Godsmack and Stained show. This is August 27th. You'll get an autographed Godsmack guitar, plus you'll get to meet both bands. Listen during the 9, 1, and 4 o'clock blitzes for your national keyword to text. Former Bon Jovi songwriter and guitarist Richie Sambora, 64 today.
Richie Sambora, huh?
Yep.
I'll be.
Boy, those guys don't like each other, Richie and Bon Jovi.
Has it gotten pretty bad?
I don't know if it's as bad as it was, but they sure didn't like each other. Didn't even talk for years while they were playing together.
Really? It was that bad? They wouldn't even say a word to each other?
I guess so.
And they'd go on tour and they'd play on stage? I understand
Nick
that.
Mars said that in the last tour with Motley Crue, they never spoke.
That I can believe. That I can believe. Motley Crue truly cannot stand the sight of each other anymore. But they still want to try to, suck $150 out of our wallet whenever they put on some kind of a silly show. I didn't know it was that bad between Richie and John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't stand each other.
I wouldn't talk to John either if he was in my band.
I heard it was a little rough last time he performed here.
I'll tell you.
Oh, that's right.
Both papers weren't very kind to Mr. Bon Jovi. Happy 50th to Marty, celebrating a birthday in Nashville this week. Happy 34th to Sarah. Happy birthday to Keels, turning the big 03 today. Happy birthday to Nikolai, turning the big 05 today from Mom and Dad, Duran Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
It was the hardest wood I had ever touched.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
It's almost in the glove. That one is all the way to the Golden Gate Bridge.
From the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, congratulations to Vladimir Guerrero, the State Farm Home Run Derby champion. Congratulations, Vladimir.
Oh my! Vlad Guerrero Jr. will hang on and win the 2023 T-Mobile Home Run Derby. Congratulations to Vlad. He and his dad, both Home Run Derby champions. There you go. A tweet from Vlad Guerrero Sr. What a performance. Proud of you, son.
Oh, Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
What's going on over there, Grandpa?
Not much.
Two of your pals showed up today to surprise you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Brad and who?
No Brad today.
I said a couple of your pals. In studio, together, hand in hand as we
sounds
speak.
Like C. Willie right there.
Jungle Jane Janel Klein.
Oh, it's about time.
I know.
What a slacker.
And as you guessed already, now a one-time veteran of a half-assed morning show booze cruise, stand-up comic C. Willi Myles.
Hello.
How was that? How was that, C. Willie?
It was everything that I dreamed it would be.
Before I forget, my family wanted to thank you for entertaining them. They had a blast they would not stop talking about you on the way home.
Oh man, they were awesome.
You don't have to say that.
No, they really were. They were awesome. I felt like I was really kind of in a little 60-minute interview, though. There was a lot of questions coming at me. I had a feeling they had all the answers. But, my dad said, don't ever lie to 60 Minutes. Just be honest, because they already know the truth.
They were asking you about the life and times of a stand-up comic? Is that what they were grilling you about?
Everything.
Oh, they already looked ahead at your schedule. We're going to make a family trip. I mean, they fell in love.
They wanted to know how I started, and I was honest because I felt like they're going to go back through the YouTube and find out what I really said. And so I didn't want to just start making, you start lying about how you got into the business.
You told them some tall tales maybe along the way?
No, man, I told them the absolute positive truth, man. You don't lie to children.
I told them ahead of time, do your best. Let's get him canceled. Let's get him canceled.
They were trying, man. They wanted to find some dirt on C. Willie.
See, Willi Myles, I felt kind of bad because I saw you as we were boarding, and this happens a lot on the booze cruise because there's so many people in 3 different levels on that big damn boat. I saw you as we boarded the boat, and then I never saw you again.
Well, that's not even that bad. I was just telling Waffle, I didn't even find him. I looked for the guy all night. How do you hide on a boat?
It is a big boat.
Yeah. Well, it is a big boat. One of my friends who's a fan of yours even approached me at one point or another and said, did C. Willi Myles jump off the boat? Or
I was looking for Waffle.
You were looking for Waffle. A buddy of mine was looking for you, C. Willie. He's going up and down the stairs. He couldn't find you. There's another friend of mine that was wishing that Janel would have been on the damn boat.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, where have you, Janel? We haven't seen you in 3 weeks.
I know.
I can't think of the last time we had to go this long without Jupiter Jane gracing us.
I thought the same thing. That might be our longest break ever.
It hurt me a little bit.
It was a heartbreaker.
It was hurtful.
Yeah.
But
I missed you guys.
You're busy working, or were you having fun?
No, I was working.
Yeah.
Something terrible, I'd imagine?
No, actually, for once, no. It's been pretty good. It's been easy, fun stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's been good. But out of town.
You've earned that. I'm glad you finally got that.
It was good. I mean, I understand in my absence that Randy has been on, a world tour in his convertible. It's nothing as fun as that, but, some of us still have to work.
Ouch.
Wow.
There's that snap.
And he's not even back to work yet. He's just done with his road trip. Randy,
Right.
you don't go
That's
back
correct.
to work until July is over. Is that accurate?
I'm actually not going to be back on the air on TV until August.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Good man. Good
How
job.
are the
You can
viewers
get it.
going to survive?
I don't think they've even realized that I'm gone.
So you're going to be at work just in time for the state fair, Randy. That's great.
State fair.
Oh, yeah. Is that why you're going back? Because they want you at the state fair?
Yeah, it'll be.
Can't take time off then.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you again, Janelle.
Oh, you guys too. I
and
miss
C.
you.
Willie. It's only been a couple weeks since we last saw C. Willi Myles, but Janelle, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
See, Willie, I was telling the guys yesterday, I had a cringy moment. I seem to do this at these events. Where later on, like I wake up in the middle of the night and think of something I was a part of and just cringe at what I said or whatever. And it was to you. You were outside, we were standing at the end of the boat there.
Right.
And I came up to you, I'm like, man, it's beautiful out here.
Right.
Do you want to come in and sit with me and the family? And I thought, what a dumb transaction. Why would I set it up by saying that?
I was like, yeah, I'll leave all this beautiful scenery.
I know. You're in a great spot. Totally happy right now. Can I ruin it by getting you into the air conditioning and hanging out with my family?
Let me interrupt your joy.
Yeah. So I apologize. I instantly realized it, and I prayed you didn't notice what just happened.
C. Willie is standing on the outside of the, on the back, front, whatever, on the side of the boat, well, the beautiful scenery, and you wanted to have him
And it
come.
was great weather.
I'm going to sit and watch my family and I eat.
Yeah. Hey, C. Willie, come check out this card table that I'm sitting at. Well,
No, it was awesome.
I
So,
hope
see, Willie, when you were on the boat, did this happen to you? Because it happened to me. When I got on the boat and it starts to leave the dock, was there this anxiety like I may not come back?
What did I do?
What did I do? I'm stuck now. I can't get off.
3 hours.
It was one of those things that I always do, and you're 100% correct. Why I agree to do something, as soon as I start doing, I show up and I go, I immediately regret this.
Yes,
until it takes off, and I was like, this really isn't that bad. And then as we got going, I was like, because I really thought that, when you hear the word booze cruise,
yeah,
and you agree to do it, and you don't drink? He's like, man, this was not one of my better plans. But it turned out, I had a great time, met so many people, and got a really 4 or 5 really good friends out of it. I've been talking back and forth on social media. Yeah, it's been, one guy works he sees me sitting on my patio. Andrew sees me sitting on my patio. He works over at this company right across the street from me. He has a big window.
Now right across from your home?
Right, yeah. It makes it weird. Yeah, it makes it weird.
Is that good or bad?
It just makes it weird, Randy. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Exactly.
I thought this year's Booze Cruise was a notch above last year in overall kind of madness. And, Randy Shaver, C. Willie, if you guys would have been with us 20 years ago, my God.
Yes.
The Booze Cruises were lawless.
I remember the story.
Lawless nonsense. Randy, you would have had your shirt pulled up over your head and thrown off the side of the boat within 5 minutes 20 years ago.
Babies were conceived on those things.
You guys
it was wild.
You've jumped on at a period where everyone has mellowed out quite a bit. Yeah. And I think that's nice.
Well, they're 20 years older.
Yes.
That happened.
It was fun.
We're older. The crowd is older.
20 years later.
Yeah.
It's really cool putting faces to Jesus names and just having an opportunity to, spend a little more than just a quick text back and forth with people. So, yeah, it was fun. I agree with you, Nick. It was a blast.
Glad you could show up, see Willie.
Absolutely,
Janel, we know Randy's never coming back, but Janel maybe. and not because anything crazy happened. Randy, I think 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago or a year ago?
I think it was a year ago.
Yeah, last summer.
Last summer when Randy got on the Booze Cruise, that was probably the most mellow cruise, and I'm not complaining, the most mellow cruise we've ever had. And I think part of it was because, I don't know, Josh, do you think that people were a little afraid to act up in front of Randy Shaver?
Nobody wants to disappoint Randy, including us.
Wow.
None of us want to disappoint Randy.
Nobody wants to disappoint Grandpa.
No.
You'll never be back, though, Randy, but Janel, we'll see you again.
And I have
for sure.
And I have to be honest, the only reason why I said yes to it is I wanted to get a picture of all of us just in case we never see each other again. So that's the only reason I said yes to it.
Sweet of you.
So I have the picture hanging on my wall here in the office.
Hilarious.
That's funny.
Just in case.
You never know, do you, Randy?
That's right. He'll point us out to the cops. That's one right there. That's the guy you want.
The person that did it.
Well, here we are, all of us together. It's a beautiful thing. Did anyone, aside from myself, spend a great majority of their evening last night watching the Home Run Derby, Major League Baseball's Home Run?
I actually did.
So did I.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I stuck around a lot longer than I thought. I think the only batter that I missed, I did not see Mookie Betts. I went outside to do something. I did not, but I thought it was a pretty well put together operation. And the guys put on a great show. Damn, that the kid from Baltimore put on a great show.
Yeah, I was
going from left-handed to right-hand, right, Wapple?
I was gonna say, have you really ever seen that in a home run derby?
No.
Yeah, that was really cool because I was watching it, and then they took a break and came back, and I was like, wait, he's batting switch now.
Yeah.
And he was almost cranking him further when he was switched than not switch.
The kid from Chicago,
yeah, when he was big.
Robert Jr. was. They were all terrific.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner, and as you heard in our intro, the winner was Vladimir Guerrero Part 2. So now he and his father have won a home run derby, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
You get into anything? You get into that kind of thing? See Willi Myles?
No.
You don't care about the home run derby?
No.
No.
Did you ever?
No.
Never.
Why is it that you could never get involved in a home run derby?
Because baseball is just not my jam.
Not your thing?
No.
Not in any way, shape. You watch the World Series?
I do. I will watch the World Series, like the final. Like,
the bottom of the ninth of Game 7.
Same thing. Let's say with the NBA. I mean, I don't watch like the NBA game after game after game.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm involved in something I got to talk about, then I'll watch it.
Sure.
You know, so I was doing this sports thing, doing COVID, which was really cool. I did that, and so I started watching a lot because you kind of got to know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, for me, when I left coaching in the 80s, I left sports. Literally. I picked up golf, and that's really all
That's it.
That's what I do. I watch golf.
I get it. You spent a lot of years involved in football.
Yeah, when you played it and coached it for as long as I did, you just when you walk away from it, you're just done.
You put your thumb in your ear hole, you take the helmet off, and you never put it back on again.
You see guys, and you look at the NBA, and you go, how did you get there? You can't play D. You just, you're flopping, and it's not even basketball anymore. It's just spread out, give me the ball, and there's one-on-one.
Right. Yep.
That's all it really is. Shooting threes.
The NBA.
You got 7-footers shooting threes, 7'4" guys shooting threes. It's like, get in the paint, man.
We've spent so much time talking about how the NBA has evolved into this three-point shooting contest, and really the only time you really see them play defense, obviously, is in the finals when everything's on the line. And then it's fun. Then it's fun to watch because they care on both ends of the floor. And it really can be a lot of fun. But, yeah, you're right. During the regular season, it's hard to watch.
Got a listener that texted in about last night's home run derby, and they said, well, someone wasn't such a big, strong guy after all last night, was it?
I'm a big guy. I'm a big, strong guy.
What's his nuts again? What's his
Pete
name?
Alonso.
Pete Alonso didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Here's a listener, medical device. Oh, great, medical device, Jesus.
Hey, I like medical devices.
I do, too. I just, maybe I don't so much anymore. He says Larry Walker used to hit from the other side of the plate during All-Star games. I don't recall that.
I don't either.
Larry Walker was a great ball player for the Montreal Expos and the Colorado. So anyway, there were a lot of those of us who watched the home run derby last night, we seemed to enjoy ourselves. There were a lot of complaints online. I mean, of course, you can't please anybody these days.
No.
But a lot of folks are saying it's too fast. You can't enjoy watching the home run sail 430 feet.
Well,
I will agree with that.
That was tough to watch.
Yeah, it is tough to watch because they don't follow the ball anymore.
Right.
Because these guys are trying to hit as many as they can. That's actually, I think maybe part of the process should be how far can you hit it. That might be a way to slow it down. Where you're really...
Well, then guys are really going to get hurt if they're trying to hit 460-foot home runs.
Right, but at least the event itself would slow down enough to actually watch where the ball goes.
Right, but it's kind of silly. When they had the old format, when anything you hit that wasn't a home run was an out,
right,
guys would take forever and be very selective with what they swung at. People complained about that. Now that they listened to the complaints, they sped it up, and now people aren't happy with that.
Well,
so what are you going to do?
I understand why they're complaining because it is hard to watch a home run hitting contest and not actually see the ball leave the park.
Yeah.
It's not, right? So,
well, at any
you're
rate,
trusting the announcers and you're watching the upper left part of your screen to see if that was a home run.
I'll tell you what.
As the number changes.
It looks so exhausting. If you watch the Luis Robert Part 2 of the Chicago White Sox was absolutely physically cooked, and this guy is a monster.
Yeah.
You could tell Vlad Guerrero, despite winning it, was completely out of gas toward the end.
And
if I were in charge of a baseball team, I wouldn't let any of my players get involved in this.
Well,
I mean, I know you don't have that kind of, but let's say you had that kind of control. I'd say, please don't do the home run derby. I'm surprised more guys aren't hurt by this.
There is a history of some guys, and I don't have a specific name in front of me, of guys who have participated in the derby and have ruined their swing for the second half of the season.
Yeah, didn't Josh Hamilton have that problem?
Yeah, I was just thinking
he
Josh
had a
Hamilton
list of problems.
Texas.
But,
yeah, right.
Anyway.
The other part of that, too, is the guys that are actually throwing the pitches. Those are the key guys. I mean, they have to consistently put it in a sweet spot for these guys. You know, that's what makes it easy for those guys to hit the home runs is if you put it in the same spot, the place where they, obviously love for the pitch to be. That's not an easy thing to do either for those guys.
No, to keep hitting that same spot.
Right.
So there you go. I thought it was
it was good.
Pretty decent event.
It'll be fun tonight.
Tonight at 7 o'clock, the actual All-Star game on Channel 9.
Do you think both Twins pitchers will get in tonight?
No.
I don't either.
I really don't think. Both? No.
I see Garrett Cole as the starter for the American League, and Zach Gallen will start for the National League tonight.
Zach Gallen, remind me of what ball club?
Arizona.
Right.
And they're having a great year.
Right.
I mean, for Arizona to be tied with the Dodgers for first place in the NL West is pretty impressive considering how bad Arizona's been over the last few years. So.
Randy Shaver, this rings a bell. A listener texted in and said Bobby Abreu's swing was completely ruined after he participated in the home run.
That does ring a bell. Yeah, I mean, there's been more than one player for sure. Josh Hamilton for sure, and you're right. He had many issues other than ruining his swing in the home run hitting contest.
Unfortunately, that's true. That's not what I was laughing at, to be exact. But go ahead, Randy.
But I'm wondering if the evolution of this and how it is now, do you think it's worse to ruin a swing? It might not be that bad now.
Well, here's the thing that maybe we're not considering.
The rapid fire of what they're doing.
Today's young hitters swing like they're in a home run derby every time they're at the plate anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, the game has changed so much. Yeah, you're right.
Here's a listener that says Justin Morneau swung like a rusty gate after the home run derby back in 2000. Hey, can someone look this up for me if you have a minute? In 1988, the home run derby was canceled. Why? I was rolling through old home run derbies, and I saw that in 1988. Was there a strike in 88?
It was due to rain.
Rain. Good old-fashioned rain. Oh,
good old-fashioned rain.
I was kind of hoping for a more dramatic story, but okay. It was just a smooth rain.
Well, there was lightning.
Lightning, too.
Yeah. So.
And then you know what else threw me? Oh, I thought that Tom Bernansky won the original home run derby at the old Metrodome, but it says here it was Dave Parker.
He probably, I think he participated.
I know he participated.
1985, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Yep.
I thought that Bruno, but it was Dave Parker. The Cobra, they called him.
Cobra. Gosh.
He had a sweet swing, though.
Yes, he did. See,
that's when I watched baseball.
Okay, so
you Willie
in the 80s. When I was doing the 80s, I was all sports.
So then you probably remember 1986. There was a tie in the home run derby in 1986. Played at the Astrodome in Houston, a tie between Darryl Strawberry and Wally Joyner.
Wally Joyner.
Talk about a sweet swing, Wally.
Strawberry had a sweet swing too, man.
Yes.
See, but to me, that's when sports was fun. Basketball, football, baseball. It was real athletes.
Well, you're saying today's athletes aren't real?
No. They're soft, man. They're soft. They run out of bounds, and you only do shoot threes. I mean, they don't go to the hole. Back in the day when Jordan and Isaiah Thomas. Hey, look, I don't want to talk basketball and stuff because I coached it, and I coached football in the '80s too. But at the end of the day, when I look at sports today, it's a shell of a game.
SAWFT is what C. Willi Myles is saying this morning.
Absolutely. I am saying it out loud.
Well, I mean.
With my whole chest. Prove me wrong.
I know what you're saying. I understand and agree with some of what you're saying. I mean, I love the 80s NBA.
Yes.
You had to be a tough son of a bitch in the 80s. Like you was talking about Isaiah Thomas and guys like that who would go to the hole and get crushed night after night.
The game was so different. I mean, the game was all about getting to the basket. That's why the big men, the centers, were such integral parts of NBA teams in those days because the game was played in the paint. It was not played by shooting outside shots. That was actually considered, bad percentage shots.
Exactly.
See, Willi Myles, now you got me triggered. Now you do. You can't hit a quarterback the way you used to in the NFL.
Right.
In the NHL today, if you slash a guy's stick and it breaks, it's a 2-minute penalty.
Wow.
Someone explain that to me. But I could go off on this with you if you wanted me to. There are certain things that do drive me nuts about the way things have changed.
What's in play? It's flag football now. It's tiptoeing around.
I got a tear in my eye right now that you said that out loud. I've been calling it flag football for years. It drives me nuts.
I'm telling you, man. Like I don't want anybody to get hurt, but some of this stuff is just going too far. Like you can't. Look, I play defensive back. When you're coming at a guy And the guy, if he lowers his head down towards you, there's nothing you can do at that point. You're missile on missile.
Mm-hmm.
You know, someone's going to get hurt. This is a gladiator sport.
Let's see if you'll go down this route with me. I think that pass interference in the NFL should be called off.
Absolutely.
I think the receiver
I played like it was called off.
That's right.
I was a holding fool, man. It's like it's only holding if they throw a flag. If they don't throw a flag, brother, I am holding you every play.
I'm tired of this quarterback throws the ball in the air. Oh, there's a little bit of contact.
Right.
Pass it. I think the receiver and the defensive back should have to physically fight for the football.
That was my theory. You're wearing pads, I'm wearing pads, brother.
You know what we got to do, C. Willie? We got to get you drinking, number one, and then we're going to a sports bar some night and telling folks the way things should be.
I don't need to drink to tell for you. Just bring me with, Hoss.
I just want it amplified even a little more, that's all.
I'll smoke a cigar. How about that?
All right. Sonny Gray and Pablo Lopez on the American League roster. Will we see them both? I don't think so.
I don't know.
It'd be great if we did. I'm a fan of both.
Yeah. We'll see.
Somebody texted in earlier. A listener said, tonight's game, 7 o'clock on Channel 9, it's the Texas Rangers versus the National League.
Yes. That's true. Or against the Atlanta Braves, really.
Well, yeah, you could go that
Rangers
route.
against the Braves. Something just came across my Twitter, Nick.
Uh-oh.
Here's a nice stat for you.
Oh.
At age 20, Bert Blyleven pitched 8+ innings in 21 of his 38 starts in 1971. How about that? Just stop and think
As a
about that for a
20-year-old.
second.
As a 20-year-old.
As a 20-year-old
Yeah.
pitcher, he pitched 8+ innings in 21 of his 38 starts in 1971.
Wow.
That's an amazing number.
That's real baseball.
And again, it amplifies what we're talking about, how
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
games have changed.
All right, see, Willi Myles, are you ready for this? Now, although I think from what you've been saying so far this morning about the 80s and how it used to be so much tougher in all the sports, I don't think this is much of a mystery what your answer will be, but a listener wants to know who's better, LeBron or Michael?
Jordan.
Okay.
Hands down, period. End of discussion, full stop, all chess. Not even close.
Yeah, you don't need any beer, do you?
No. I'll fight you.
I'm with you on that, although I am not a Michael Jordan fan. I think the guy's a complete prick.
Right. Well, we're talking basketball. We're not personality.
No, we're not. We're not having a personality contest. Right. Randy said, thankfully, we're not having a personality contest. So the All-Star game is in Seattle. Cubby, did you see this where people were talking about the parking prices if you park your car at the ballpark?
Yeah, it's outrageous.
Well, when's the last time any of you went to a concert or something and parking prices were just lights out unbelievable?
Well, I have an experience. People were texting in. I forget there was maybe it was Taylor Swift. I can't remember. It was over at US Bank Stadium. They were saying they're paying. Remember this, like over $50.
Yeah, I remember hearing that too.
I've never paid anything close to that. Certainly in the 20s.
Who was it that just came to town? That was a big deal.
I thought it was Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift. Did you go to that, Janelle?
I didn't.
What?
I wish I had.
Parking was $50. People.
Yeah,
said?
people were texting and saying it was like $50.
The last time I went to the US Bank Stadium, I can't remember what it was for. I believe it was for a football game. I ended up paying around $40.
Wow.
But that's because also I would rather just pay extra money than walk an extra block.
When I go to the home and garden shows at US Bank Stadium, true story, or like World of Wheels or something, we're looking like $10-15.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Wow. Home and garden show. Who did you see when you were there recently? Tony Danza or something like that?
From Brady Bunch
guy.
Oh, Christopher Knight.
Yes, Christopher Knight.
Peter Brady.
Wow.
Josh saw him at the home and garden show.
And I almost walked right up to him because I'm like, I can't believe there's nobody here to see Peter Brady. And so I went up to say hi, and I realized the line was on the other side. So there would have been a lot of moms pissed at me had I walked up there. I didn't realize where the line was. That line was huge to see the guy.
Did you ever have a crush on him, Janelle? Christopher Knight from the Brady?
No.
No?
Although I've seen pictures, he looks good.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Is he still all cut up, Cubby?
Not so much. He's got that soul patch he's had for years.
Oh, well, yeah. They won't let you into the Home and Garden show without a soul patch.
You got to have a soul patch.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Hey, Nick, did you go to Taylor Swift?
No, I don't know anything. I know nothing about Taylor Swift.
Really?
Not a damn thing.
There's a shot. She seems like she'd be your speed. She's hot.
I couldn't pick her out of a crowd.
Are you kidding?
No, I love hot women.
Yeah.
Bold take, man.
Great. Now you're going to get canceled.
I just don't. I've never followed her gimmick. But obviously she's a hell of a deal. You know, I love Britney Spears.
That's what I mean. I don't.
By the way, this Victor Wembanyama hasn't apologized yet for hitting her in the face.
He didn't hit her in the face. He had nothing to do with it. So, up to $100 people are saying for parking for the Taylor Swift concert.
Okay, at the Seattle ballpark for the All-Star game, there's a lot charging $120 to park your vehicle.
Wow. Good Lord.
It was $100 where, Josh?
U.S. Bank Stadium, or not at, you know what I'm saying, around there someplace. The guy said it was about a block away.
For the Taylor Swift concert?
Yeah.
That's
Supply and demand, man. It gouge you, man.
Man.
Scooter. I did that yesterday. You got to do the scooter. Man, that's fun. Nick got a scooter.
You rode a scooter yesterday?
Yeah,
again?
yesterday. Through St. Paul.
You
It's
did
fun.
St. Paul again?
Yeah.
On a Monday?
Yes.
I know. It was out of routine. It stressed me out, but it was fun.
See, Willi Myles, I went and bought one of those little scooters you see whipping around Minneapolis that you pay to use. You know those things. Yeah, I went and bought one a few weeks ago. It's a friggin' blast.
They are fun.
You mean like the kind you stand on, or like the little scooters?
Yeah, you stand on it.
type?
I feel like everyone probably hates your guts. You know, when you see on one of those. Yeah, it didn't take long for C. Willie to agree.
You don't like when people are
But it
whipping
was
around?
fun. It was fun.
I love it, Janel Klein.
It is.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great
I've
thing.
never tried one. I would like to.
Blast.
If you like good comedy, watch my wife on one because she's terrified.
All right.
And so she'll forget there's breaks, all kinds of stuff. It's kind of fun
absolutely.
watching her on that thing.
I see it all the time.
Do you really?
I see it all the time, man.
Yeah.
I've had a couple close calls where just whoa, 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 the handlebars just about get out.
Oh, yep.
Didn't see
I was in Pittsburgh, and I saw I saw this lady hit a pothole, and it was not. I mean, I laughed, but I don't. But I laughed because I didn't know if she was hurt or not. But I'm just gonna get my laugh out now because I didn't know. So I mean, it's like you got to be careful because you're not a bike.
No, you're not a bike.
So you're in the bike lane. They need a scooter lane. And it needs to have like a rail around it because some of these people panic, man.
Yeah.
When they come to the crosswalks and they don't know what to do. And that's what happened to her. She turned sharply and hit a pothole. And then all I saw was like the briefcase. When she had her like a little, she had one of those little nice shoulder briefcases, satchels. One way, then one of the left shoe came off. It was stuff flying everywhere, man. So and then it was like a wallet I came out and it slid across right in front of my car. So obviously, I picked up a wallet and brought it over to her minus the cash. But
I thought I was.
My time is valuable. My time
minus
is valuable.
the cash. I thought I was pretty good at it the last time, and I saw a guy that essentially it was like competitive figure skating, watching him weave through stuff.
Exactly.
He made it beautiful. It was an art.
Right.
He was so good at
I'm
this
that
thing.
good now, Cubby.
Until I opened my car door and put it into it. I saw and this is a true story. So and I can't remember what city I was in because I want to say Denver, and all of a sudden a guy was on one of them and he went to SWAT. I think a bee was following him, and you can't take your hands off. This is not a one-hand scooter.
Yeah.
You need both hands on the scooter, and he was doing one of those.
Oh no!
Wadding away, and I hit the curb. It was B1, the B1, and the bee just flew off. Like, dude, I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like, he don't know. He can't describe it to the police or.
So,
he got to pay
Nick,
for that
you
scooter
actually
he tore up.
bought one that
Yeah.
and so you're driving it from like your house to the Legion or whatever.
I haven't taken it. I haven't. I haven't.
Well, here's the deal, Janelle. It'll get to the Legion. It won't get back.
I use my electric bicycle when I want to go have a few Steve Weisers.
Okay.
I haven't taken the scooter
Okay.
to the bar yet. But I whip it around the neighborhood. The teenage kids worship me, but I suppose they always did. here, you know,
Nick, I'm finding something out about you that I've listened for years, man, and you right now you're like the most bougie-ish.
His electric bike and his
he got electric bike. He's got a scooter.
You never knew I was so environmentally friendly.
No, I did not.
You know what changed? I can tell you the moment it changed. Once he became a cat owner, he lifted his nose to the rest of us.
Oh, a cat owner?
He said he became more elevated as a human being.
I am a kind of a member of the elite.
You have a cat? So, seriously?
I have a cat.
I always say to people that cat is like, you've made so many mistakes in your life. You say you might as well just get a cat. So that's when you just say.
See, Willie doesn't like cats. He doesn't like today's athletes.
I can't stand cats. They serve no purpose.
I love.
They serve no purpose in life.
I love the cat. I've had a couple of cats now since I became a cat owner. I love those damn things.
That's what happens. You multiply them, and they still don't do nothing. They don't fetch. They don't do what you say.
You need to come over and meet this cat.
Nope.
It'll change you.
What's the cat's name?
What the hell is his name? Dave.
Dave. Stupid name.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you say that the teenage kids think that's cool, because all I felt like is that any young person would look at a 48-year-old man on a scooter and think, what a dork.
Oh, they are thinking that. Yes. They don't think I'm cool. What, this guy's got a white beard and he's on a friggin'... Yeah, trust me, they don't think I'm cool.
And he's holding a cat. What's up with that?
He's got a little cat stroller.
Now that would be awesome. To be able to put him on my back and go for a ride.
Get him a cat sidecar, man. I love him on your back.
Oh, whatever. I don't know. However he can come. I'd love to have him come with me. I was a dog owner for many, many, many years, my whole life. And then when my last dog died, I thought, I'm tired of what dogs demand of you. I grew tired of what dogs demand of you, so I got a damn cat, and it is a breeze. There are days will go by, and the sumbitch won't acknowledge me. That's a beautiful thing.
I do kind of like
that your
about
cat?
cats.
He won't even acknowledge me.
That's their deal. That's their whole deal.
But he'll come hang out with me when he feels like
when
it.
When he wants to.
And that's fine by me. I don't need a dog to be licking at me and kneading me all the time.
Oh.
You could be a parent. It's the same thing.
But here's the deal. If something goes down in your house, don't think that one moment that your cat's going to come to your room and say, hey, something's going down. Your cat will be outside I thought you heard me leave, bro.
You're probably right, C. Willie, but no one's messing with me. I have an environmentally friendly electric scooter.
That's true.
That is security enough.
Although you do hear about those things blowing up because of the batteries. You better be careful.
I keep an eye on them when I'm charging them, because I hear that a lot of them, they catch fire and the whole... The neighborhood burns to the ground. Yeah, I have heard those stories.
Right?
Well, for the environment.
But I got one anyway, because I live like that.
Got two of them. I got two of them.
I'll tell you, they are fun, though. I mean, because somebody left one in that's how we got into it. Somebody left one in the parking lot back here.
Oh.
And we thought, let's give it a try. And we rode it around the hallways here, and it was a blast.
It was the salesman of the scooter.
Yeah. That was so much fun.
It worked on me. I wanted one within 10 seconds.
I think you bought one the same day, didn't you?
Yeah, same day.
Yeah.
Same day.
Scooters and minivans. That's just something you just won't catch me on again.
Nothing says I gave up. But
some of those minivans have vacuums in them.
I know. Look, my friend tried to convince me, and Tim Gabrielson is one of the best looking guys in comedy. He had a van, and he was trying to explain to me. I say, Tim, all that says when you pull up by a stop sign and a good-looking woman pulls up and look next to you, all that says is I have a load of kids. That's what that is. It's a turnoff, brother. You're a good-looking man, but there's no woman gonna want you if you're driving a minivan, bro. You're tapped out financially.
We've had some interesting conversations and arguments so far in this segment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Interesting, wonderful, and it's perfect that we've had a couple of give and takes here, because I'm looking forward to your thoughts on this, okay, everybody. All right. Nick Castellanos, an outfielder for the Philadelphia Phillies. He believes that Scooby-Doo should be known as a superhero.
No, he's just a little pothead dog.
He's a pothead dog.
Well, that's secondhand pothead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's secondhand. You can't blame him for that. I mean,
That's
ain't
true.
nobody seen Scooby put no bud in his mouth. He just didn't. But when you in the van, you just take on the the residue like everybody else.
Shaggy's the one with all the grass.
Shaggy's got the problem.
So
I thought both of them did because they always wanted the snacks. I thought that was the bit, right? The Scooby
He's getting that
snacks.
secondhand. That's that secondhand stuff, man.
Secondhand weed will still give you the munchies.
You're right.
So here's Castellanos' argument as to why Scooby-Doo shouldn't just be referred to as a cartoon dog. He should be referred to as a superhero. And at first when I read the headline, I thought, where's he going with this? But it does make sense. Why wouldn't this dog be known as a superhero? He's a dog that can friggin' talk.
Good point.
Okay, so that's his first evidence. Scooby-Doo is a dog that can talk. Second, he helps people by solving mysteries. Just like a superhero would help someone who's being robbed or being threatened. Who's with Castellanos? I'm with him.
So you're saying that Scooby's superpower is the fact he can talk?
Yeah, and help people with scary mysteries.
I don't know. I think it takes more than that to be a superhero.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk very clearly, right? Like,
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he's high.
Yeah. I mean, Batman's kind of hard to understand too.
True.
True.
All right, I don't know. So am I the only one on Castellanos' side here?
I'm gonna say no.
Anyone has any thoughts?
I don't feel like he's the brains of the operation ever.
Right? He kind of
He's
just
just
follows
like,
around.
yeah.
And let's be clear, it took Scooby a little while to figure things out. He's kind of like the Columbo. I mean, he gets the job done, but he needs the whole series to do it.
And I do love that. I do love he's always terrified. This big Great Dane, he's obviously
Right. He is always scared.
Yeah, he
is.
And he's hilarious when he's scared.
That I did not consider that.
Right.
So maybe, and Josh just answered the question that I was going to toss your way. I mean, Josh just said it, but did you guys know that Scooby-Doo was a Great Dane?
Yes.
I guess I didn't make that connection.
Dane.
That
Yeah,
was
it's a
the.
Great Dane. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
But we did have Underdog, so that was actually a superhero dog.
That's correct.
You're right. I loved.
Don't.
Was that one of your favorite cartoons?
No, Froghorn Leghorn.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That was absolutely my favorite.
When I was a young kid,
I say ball.
That boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball.
I loved Underdog.
Would Astro be from the Jetsons be a superhero? I mean, he could kind of talk.
No.
Oh, did he talk? I don't remember.
Didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought Astro
he
could communicate.
He kind of talked like Scooby.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Right. I'd forgotten about.
He's kind of nerdy though. So,
If you want to keep going with Scooby-Doo, I'll tell you this much right now. See Willi Myles. I hated Scrappy Doo's guts.
Without a doubt.
I don't think anybody liked
He was a
Scrappy
privileged
Doo.
puppy.
He sure was.
privileged.
His damn guts.
Lived
Smart
off of
mouth
Scooby's.
little prick.
Yeah, he was cocky.
It was always a problem with Scrappy Doo. It was always a problem.
I wonder where he's at right now. There's no doubt in my mind he did time. No doubt. He's in a pound somewhere.
He did time.
I couldn't stand him either. You're right. I think wasn't.
People are texting in saying the same thing. Yeah, he did suck.
Yeah.
Scrappy Doo?
Yeah.
All right, I got excited. Maybe Scooby-Doo shouldn't be a superhero, but he's a dog that can friggin' talk, for Pete's sake.
Yeah. But he only could talk to the people that was in that van.
Well, yeah, because if that's the case, then Brian from Family Guy also. I mean, he really is a good communicator. He's working on a novel.
Yeah,
I mean, if we're gonna go back that far, Mr. Ed could talk. The horse, he wasn't a superhero.
Yeah, he was a talker.
Well, Mr. Ed did figure stuff out, though.
He did.
Yeah, he listened
Thanks
a lot.
to Wilbur.
Oh, you know.
All right. So the Victor Wembanyama, he hit Madonna in the face. What did he do?
No, he did not. He had nothing.
Madonna was in the hospital.
He just happened to be there.
He's not going to play any more basketball, Randy. They shut him down for the rest of the summer league.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, that's how paranoid they are that this guy's going to mangle himself before he plays games that count.
What does he weigh? About 37 ounces?
Yeah.
Boy, he is thin.
More signs that these guys are soft, see Willi Myles.
Amen.
Well, they probably saw what happened to Chet Holmgren last year and said, you know what? Let's see if we can save him until camp starts.
That's true.
You know what else happened at this week's NBA Summer League games? San Antonio Spurs head coach Greg Popovich met Fat Joe in person.
Oh, that's cool.
You guys all down with Fat Joe?
Love Fat Joe.
I can say I'm down with him, but I'm familiar with
You
him.
like him? See Willi Myles?
Yeah, I like Fat Joe.
See, he's not fat.
No.
Well, so where's he going
Anymore.
with that? He's not fat anymore.
He was at one point, right?
Well, you can't change your name when you've been going with it for since the 80s.
Yeah, and some of you might be confused. Now, he was never in the Fat Boys.
Right.
It was just Fat Joe. I saw a picture of he and Greg Popovich met Randy Shaver. Your thoughts on that?
Anybody that can lose 200 pounds, I'm in awe.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Did he really lose 200 pounds?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's 200 pounds. Yeah, I'm in awe.
Who was the other guy with the biddly-diddly-diddly-dee?
Heavy D, he
That's
dead.
right, Heavy D.
Loved him. He was good people.
He had that one song where he went biddly-diddly-diddly-dee. Right. You got Janelle, you know what we're talking about?
I have no clue.
It was twiddly-diddly-diddly.
I like that Janelle gets absolutely no references. I mean, it's endearing. It's totally endearing.
It's
It
so
is.
true.
Were you busy applying lip gloss over there or something? I thought you looked like you. I have no idea.
She's always camera ready, man. No.
Heavy D and the boys, they had that song, Now That We Found Love,
What are we gonna do?
That's right, Janelle.
With it.
You must have been at a 6th grade dance to that one or something.
Do you know what I remember that song? At the end of Hitch.
Hitch.
Oh,
Wow.
the movie Hitch.
There you go.
You know, that wasn't as bad as I had thought it was going to be.
It's a good
It
little
was
movie.
a great movie.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Janelle has watched 2 movies.
Yep.
And one is
Hitch.
Kevin James in Hitch. Jesus.
Because Will Smith was in it.
Faribault movie theater sucks.
And then, to be honest, the slap that he did with Kevin James, that was the same slap at the Oscars. Look at it. I've played it over and over in my head. I'm like, that's the exact same slap. It was scripted.
Randy, thank your friends for stopping by.
That's awesome. Makes my life a lot easier.
They don't have to go anywhere, but you got to get going.
What'd you shoot the other day, Randy?
I'm not going to talk about it, see, Willie.
Oh,
It was
no.
So
Spill,
bad
man,
yesterday.
spill.
Ooh, so bad.
Okay,
So
just give
much
me the
fun.
front nine or the back nine.
Beautiful golf course at the Classic in Brainerd. Awesome.
You were up in Brainerd?
I was yesterday.
Classic.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
It was
That's a
awesome.
tough
See,
track,
Willie, it's
though.
a tough course, right?
It's a tough track. It's really
Yeah.
tough.
Did you dig a hole while you were in Brainerd? Dig a hole!
I wish I would have. And crawled into it.
What was the event?
It was no event.
Oh, okay.
I was playing with friends.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a
good.
charity.
Well, when you only play twice a year, Randy, come on.
That's true. That's true.
You got to get out. Golf is about reps. Got to get them reps in.
Randy,
Sometimes when I do more reps, I get even worse. So
sorry to hear that you still suck at golf, Randy.
thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate
man.
it.
We'll talk to you
Appreciate it.
tomorrow, Randy
See ya.
Shaver. And Janelle and C. Willie coming back when we return on the program.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
CJ Ham for Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. When I'm on the field, I can take anything. But at home with my family, we like everything to be comfortable. That's why I trust the pros at Standard. They've been keeping Minnesotans like me comfortable for over 90 years.
Is your cooling system making strange noises or not cooling properly? Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Mr. Len Penzo's here. Now when I buy something, I'm like, can actually spend any time with this thing. Len, I would imagine you've got to think about that too when you're buying stuff.
You know, before I was retired, if I wanted something, I bought it. I don't care what it was. The Kings were in the Stanley Cup Finals, and me and the Honeybee, I mean, we didn't even think about it. $3,600 on 2 tickets. Now that I'm retired, those days are gone.
The Stacking Benjamin Show, available on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Care 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
I guess it's true that time does fly when you're having fun, because it's already 8:32 here on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Our guests in studio today are 2 of our favorite people. Care 11 television star and former lover of big league slugger Jose Canseco, Janel Klein is here.
Former.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there breaking news? Did things settle down between the two of you?
I'm sorry. I thought that romance had come to an end.
True love never dies.
Ben, that he announced that we were a hot new couple. That's news to me.
And your wife, I'd imagine.
Right. Yeah, you got some explaining to do, Nick.
Earlier on, I referred to the two of it. We also have stand-up comics C. Willi. These young athletes need to toughen up Myles.
That's right.
I announced earlier that you two were a couple, just because you would make such an adorable couple, and you get along so damn well. Yeah. But so Janelle's still with Jose Canseco. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Thanks to both of you for coming in.
So good to see you both.
I missed you guys.
Janelle, we've almost forgot what you look like. We're not used to being so far apart between your appearances.
I know.
Janelle-less. They were Janelle-less.
We sure were.
It was a record, I think. I don't think we've ever gone that long.
Yeah, it's been a miserable 3 weeks without you.
It's a novel.
Huh?
It's the beginning of a novel.
Yes.
Does sound that way, doesn't it?
Right.
I got a friend who won't stop asking about you, Janelle Klein. Before we got on the booze cruise, I asked him, "You want to go on the booze cruise?" Is Janelle going to be on the cruise? Then it was only a few days ago. I forgot where I was going. I was going somewhere. I was going to a party at a buddy's house last Saturday. And I asked this friend to swing by. Is Janelle there?
Same guy?
Same guy.
Same guy.
So look out. See, Willi Myles, what do you got going on now for your fans? People have been texting in wanting to know upcoming shows and things like that. You got anything booked?
Yeah, man. We just inked a deal. I'm going to be back at Crooners here again September 16th.
Okay.
We just did that yesterday, actually, as a matter of fact. Sitting out on my patio getting work done.
You just finalized that?
That deal, yeah, man. September the 16th.
Okay.
In the main room, 7:30 show. It's going to be great. Yeah, I got a whole big tour that's coming up, and I haven't got all the details yet, but it's going to be massive.
Okay.
For next this coming year.
I'm happy to hear it. I'm happy to hear it.
Right.
Tell us about C. Willi Myles, because we had a conversation earlier. I forgot how it started, Josh. Maybe you can help me out.
Yeah, there was a police department in Toronto. They had a bar in it.
Yeah.
And so officers could go drink in their off time, is what it was supposed to be. But one of the officers got drunk, got a DWI, and so they pulled the bar out. So he ruined it for everybody else.
He did.
And we were wondering, well, what's the coolest thing in this building? And we came up with the 2 new vending machines. But I had asked listeners to text us because I've heard, we've heard told stories about these different companies that have some pretty amazing perks, some really cool things. And people text in, there's some really cool stuff at people's jobs.
I couldn't believe what I was reading, what people had at the ready at all times in their offices and work buildings or whatever the case may be. I couldn't. Janelle, at Care 11, do you guys have a cafeteria? Do you have video games, a quiet room, a napping room, a breastfeeding room?
None of the above. Well, we have a couple of vending machines in the cafeteria.
You got a ping pong table.
We do? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't even know. Where's that at?
She's on the road all the time. She's not even there.
That's true.
Well, you are traveling a lot, but I'm surprised that you don't have cooks there and whatnot.
Oh, God, are you kidding?
Really?
I think, I don't know. I mean, I would love to know when these people are writing in what industry they're in, because I think the media industry is notoriously bad at, the way they treat their employees is terrible.
They're cheap.
God, yeah.
Well, we could speak on that a little bit. What are the perks of stand-up comedy, C. Willi Myles?
Well, the cool thing about what I do is that we have a writer, so...
Okay.
So we pretty much know what's going to be in our room when we show up.
Oh, this is very interesting now.
So let's hear what your conditions are.
Yeah, when you play a gig...
I want to hear this.
You provide for the hall a writer of what you need in your dressing room. I can't wait to hear this.
Right. Mine's very. I'm not as bougie as some people. I'm not crazy.
You called me bougie earlier.
Right. Exactly. Because you own a cat.
Because I got a cat now.
Yeah, 2 cats in a scooter.
2 cats in a
and an e-bike.
And
2 scooters
and an e-bike. Yeah. I mean, I think it's environmentally friendly, but I think it's still bougie. But anyway, at the end of the day, you could be both.
Look at me. Don't I look just bougie as all get out?
You don't.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. My thing is that at the end of the day, I think my rider is basically like what I like to drink and what I like to eat, what I like to have in my green room.
Okay.
And sometimes you don't. I get to tell my agents what I want in my rider. Most riders are written by the crew that travels with you.
All right.
It's what they want. Because you get in there and you be like, I don't eat any of this.
Okay.
I don't drink. So why is there beer and liquor and wine in here? And it's expensive.
Not all of it is for you.
Not all of it is for me.
The crew's got to eat too and have a couple of beers along the way.
Except for I don't travel with a crew, so what's in there is mine.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it's pretty slick. And then if you want to eat, if you want a dinner, then you tell them, they say, hey, we want to get your meal, and you tell them, here's what I eat.
Dinner's on them.
So it's on them. So they'll cater it in, or they'll have nice little catering setup area in there for you can have yourself a little one person. Or my wife travels with me quite a bit, so you have like a 2-person little buffet. You can just make your own little. They do a little thing in there, and it's real classy.
Do you put what your wife wants in the rider too?
If she's traveling
with you,
right.
Because I am terribly uncomfortable ordering for my wife. Because she always has weird substitutions and stuff like that. And it probably would be easier for me just to hand a note.
Well, here's the cool thing, and that this difference. My wife is when she travels with me, she knows she's gonna pretty much eat what I eat, basically, because I can't divert. And then, but I order for my wife all the time because my wife and we've been together for 32 years, so it's not like she has any. She has secrets, but it's not about food. Because I'm the cook at our house. So.
Oh, you are? I wish I knew how to do that.
I'm the chef, so
she wouldn't trust me for that.
Right, she has any secrets about what she likes to eat, what she can't eat. Now, the other part of her life, I did no background check or anything like that. I don't know anything of that.
Well, that's interesting. The rider. Has a club ever asked you? Has a club ever directly asked you, "Hey, do you want some drugs?"
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want some weed back here or something like that?
Absolutely. And I always say no.
That's kind of
nice. That was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Not so much now, but back then, like, do you need any, they didn't say drugs. Do you need any assistance, any help?
Nice.
No.
There you go.
You know what they meant.
I work alone. I work alone.
Have you worked with other comics who had ridiculous riders, ridiculous stuff where you rolled your eyes and thought, who does this person think they are?
Absolutely.
Were some of them doing it to be jerks, you think, or they just were, bougie? We've used that word, but
yeah, that and to be jerks, just to because they can.
Because they can.
You get so much stuff, and it's like, dude, it's just you. How are you going to eat or drink all of this? You're not.
Yeah.
You're wasting people's time. Well, the people that work here, they'll have it. That they know.
I hear you.
I wonder,
like that's not your deal, man.
I hear you.
How hard do you think the company would laugh if we had a rider request? Jesus. I mean, just even some kind request. Do you think we could get this here, or they'd shut the door on us. Our keys wouldn't work.
They likely would. They'd treat us like the way Janel apparently is treated over there at Channel 11. Well, Jesus.
Yeah, what if we find out we've got a table tennis and all these cool things here and nobody let us know?
Oh, I'd be so mad.
We have joked around in the past about having it written into our contracts that the sales department and other staff members are not allowed to make eye contact with us.
Yeah. And that's a real rider, though. That's a real rider for some people where they don't have people talk to them. Nobody can come back. And I worked with a guy one time that, and this is a true story, that when I walked by his dressing room, that if he was coming out, I had to stop. And of course, he walked out of his dressing room, and I walked right by him because I don't pay attention to that.
So you basically weren't allowed to cross paths with this person?
Exactly. And I did.
It's truly unbelievable.
I had heard that, or we had heard that from a friend of ours is a stand-up comic, and he worked with some pretty big names that would come to town, usually like Acme, someplace like that.
Right.
And they would say the same thing. Right. You're not allowed to talk to us. There's one particular comedy duo that wanted to look over the jokes and they would
Right.
take some out if they thought it was funnier than what they had.
Right. That's what happened to me. And he wanted me to give him my. I said, I have no idea what I'm going to say when I want. What do you mean you don't know what you're going to say, dude? Because I don't have a scripted show. Right. I don't script my show like that because I have all my materials in my head.
What a nightmare!
I can't imagine
to have to deal with people.
Yeah,
like
and it pissed him off, and he said, "I'll never work with you again." I go, "That would be great."
Oh no!
And you know what? I worked with him like twice after that. You know, because I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to say. He goes, "Well, I don't know what to start with. If then you ain't got no business in this business." You know, I don't like that.
Oh, who would? That sounds incredibly self-centered and all of the terrible terms that we could come up. Janel, when you have to travel for television stations, do they put you in first class?
You know what's funny? It depends on who you're working for.
Yeah.
Right?
Like who treats you the best?
Well, like when I've hosted like big events, like say the college football championship game, I get treated like royalty.
Yeah.
It's so funny to me.
Sweet.
And then you come home and then you still have to clean your toilet. And you're like, oh, that was one day. Now back to reality.
It kind of sucks to walk away from that, doesn't it?
It kind of does. You're like, God, what if this was your real life? But I mean, most of the time, no. I mean, you're not staying in any place nice. And a lot of times I think it's just because you're sent places where there isn't a nice hotel. Right? Like, so
Or there used to be, but the hurricane took it out of your
There's that.
Oh, I suppose, you go to small towns. It's not exactly like they have a Ritz-Carlton. I wish I knew the proper term for a fancy hotel.
Yeah.
So you're staying in a Super 8.
Right.
And there's a fist fight happening in the room next to you.
Yes.
You feel like you're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel like you're part of it.
Boy, see, Willie, I can't get over the douchiness that you have to deal with.
Oh, it's next level sometimes, you know, and I get it. You know, some of these people have been on the road for so many years and they've been taken care of and they get pampered. But a lot of the time, it's not even their fault, and I feel bad for them because the agency that represents them and some of the managers, you know, they send these letters and they make these people, because they want them to think that they're bigger than what they are.
Sure.
You know, and some of them then they buy into it, you know, that I'm this big star.
That's what I was going to say. My experience is like the more famous someone is, the more down to earth they've been.
Exactly.
I've never had a bad experience with someone who's super famous. It's always someone who's like sea level.
Exactly.
Well, it's that fake it till you make it attitude.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Working in radio and meeting young bands along the way, there have been a few who totally had that fake it until we make it mindset.
Yeah.
Right.
To be rude to everyone and be bizarre, to try to make a name for themselves and try to make people think, well, this person must be something special. It hasn't been often, but it has been a few times. Correct, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think some of them just assume, I want to be a big star, so I have to be a douchebag. I got to destroy a hotel. That's kind of how you do it.
You made a reference to their managers are usually more trouble than the actual performer.
And they tell them that you have to do this, you know. And then so I toured with this guy, and he's passed away now, and I don't like talking ill of the dead, but I will. and because he was a friend. He was a friend, and we were both coming up in the industry, man. And he was a protege of Prince, right? Mm-hmm. And we were out on tour, and he had this whole mindset that, you know, we're down in Waterloo, Iowa. You know, we're at the
Janel can get you around that town.
The Electric Park Ballroom. I mean, we got it. We're selling tickets, man. We're sitting in the hotel, and the TV and news station and the newspaper are there in the lobby to do an interview. I go down and do mine. There's another cat we're touring with named Tony Terry, who turned out to be a big R&B guy.
Yeah.
He and I doing the interview, and it's time for the guy who's like headlining the show, and I go to his room and say, hey, they're ready for you. He looks at me, and now this is my friend. And he goes, yeah, tell him I don't do interviews.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, bro, we are trying to sell tickets, man. You better get out of here. I don't do interviews. This might be the last interview you do. He came down and did it, but I had to go to the manager, the lady that was in charge of the tour, and tell her. I said, hey, you know, he's up here talking about he don't do interviews. And all of a sudden she went down to his room, and he did the interview, but it was like the worst. Like
Gave zero effort.
I was like, you are not Prince, man.
Yeah.
You are not him. When you get there, do that. But
Yeah.
that's not who you are right now.
Gave zero effort in the interview, acted like he was bothered.
Never made it to that level. Not even close.
Do you guys think if you made it to the big time, you would keep it real? Because I think you two would. There's no way you would change.
Janelle,
ever.
you're looking at the big time right now.
Where do you think you're at?
Who do you think you're talking to?
True.
Look at the numbers.
We would never. Let's say we were offered the big time, we wouldn't even go to the big time.
Sounds exhausting.
I always, that brings up the movie Kingpin, which is such a funny movie.
Absolutely.
And Bill Murray's such a big part of the fun in that movie. It always makes me think of that line when Bill Murray defeats Woody Harrelson in the Odor Eaters Championship. and he says into the microphone, finally, Big Earn is above the law.
Right.
And that's such a great, brilliant line, but that is how some of these big timers do think.
Yeah.
They think, well, that's it. I'm the answer to every question. I'm above everybody and everything. That always brings me back to that.
I'll tell you what I always say.
Go ahead.
Money and fame doesn't make you a butthole. You know what I mean? It only, money just enhances who you are on the inside. You've
Very
always
good point.
been that. You know what I mean?
You've always been a butthole.
So money don't make you that person. It just gives you the right to be that big of a person that you are. So if you're a good person on the inside, money just going to make you a better person.
Very
it just
good
doesn't
points.
do that. Fame is the same way. I mean, I hate people who become famous and then feel like I can't be around normal people.
That's a very good point. See, Willi Myles.
I do kind of want to find out. I want to get this money thing you're talking about and see if I do. Well, not become a douchebag, but I just show the douchebag.
I want to find out if I want to find out if I can. I want to do the research.
Care 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, man. What a hell of a deal this has been. Spending our morning jaw-jacking with Janel Kleinsky and C. Willi Myles. If I wasn't such a big deal around here, we'd have the two of you in every day, but my ego won't allow it.
Thanks for making today so much fun. It's so fun having you guys here.
Absolutely, man. My phone just keep blowing up with your listeners, man. These guys they're on me, man. There's Andrew and Leo, and Leo wants to open up for me. I don't know what he does.
Oh, no, Janelle wants to open up for you. We get a listener that wants to open up for you?
Yeah.
That'd be kind
acoustic. I don't think he understands what I do for a living.
Oh, he wants to play.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, that would be interesting to have a... Do you know much about Leo? Is he
absolutely no?
Is he a rookie in the business?
No, all I know about Leo is he works at Felipe Construction.
Oh, well, I'm sure there's some jokes that.
Maybe he's the funniest dude there.
Well, that's great.
He may be, but you might be construction funny. But if you ain't professionally funny, they ain't dropping dimes in your pocket, bro. That's called work funny.
That construction funny. Those guys have a different sense of humor.
It may not work with mine.
Well, it's nice that our listeners are digging C. Willi Myles and sending off the text messages and stuff.
I get quite a bit, man. I don't know how to keep finding my number, though. No, it's all just instant message in Twitter message, which is nice. I like it. I love getting new fans, man.
Well, that's great.
If they like me on your station, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we love having you on.
Absolutely.
And Janel Klein, too. Janelle, now you're supposed to talk about how everyone's blowing up your phone, too.
Janelle, she doesn't turn her phone on. How would she know?
What are you talking about?
She's got two of them.
I know. She's got her phone and she's got her stage phone.
We've mentioned this before. See, Willie, though, have you ever seen her? She can text on two phones at the same time.
I know.
It's pretty nuts.
She's a very talented young lady.
Yeah.
So we missed you for 3 weeks, Janelle, because you were off working.
Yep.
Do you have some time to yourself now, for Pete's sake? Enjoy a little bit of the summer?
Yeah, I have to say, it's been a low-key summer. It has been.
Well, last night you spent 4 hours with.
They were asking me what I've been doing because, C. Willie's avid golfer.
Yeah.
Where I'm not.
You're not.
I mean, I enjoy golf. I can't say I make a lot of time for it.
Right.
So that needs to happen more this summer.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of screwing around. I'm not going to lie.
So it hasn't been all work.
There's been some antics.
Okay. Tell us about the antics. What kind of antics?
What have I been doing? I don't know. Well, these guys were teasing me because they said, "What did you do last night?" And I said I was out on a patio with 7 girls for like 4 hours.
Whoa.
That's fun.
That was just a normal summer night,
Just
right?
knocking down drinks?
Just going after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was National Pina Colada Day
Was it
yesterday. Did you
really?
have a couple
Missed
pina
that.
coladas?
I didn't. I would have had I known. Had I known.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That it's not. I was under the impression since we were missing you for 3 weeks that you were, being put through the ringer, but you have had an opportunity to have some laughs.
Yeah. I mean, I have been working most of that time, but it's been pretty low key. So it's
Were
not
these
been bad.
girls from back home or?
No, they're just friends from here. So we were in St. Paul, which I have to say I don't go to St. Paul enough. You go. I mean, I have to say I probably should go more.
Where were you
It was
at?
fun. We were on
Right.
Grand Avenue.
Oh.
And I just haven't been there in a really long time. It was fun.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that
Grand
sounds like
Avenue,
fun.
That's a
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah.
One of my favorite dessert places on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite dessert place?
What's it called?
Cafe latte.
Cafe Latte. Everybody knows it, man.
I've heard of it.
It's the best cake. I mean, you want a piece of cake? Environmentally friendly cake? Like
If we're
carrot
talking,
cake.
Take your scooter.
That's the first question I always have. Is this environmentally friendly?
you got to remember, see Willi Myles. I'm kind of an expert on cake. I'm from Wayzata.
Oh my God! I lived there for a couple of years.
Did you really?
I lived right on Lake Street.
Well, what the hell?
When we moved back from California, we moved to right there on Lake Street, right down the street, across the street, right next to 925.
Well, I hear exactly what you're saying. There you go.
Yeah.
Janelle and C. Willi Myles, thank you very much for
Thanks,
your
you
time.
guys.
We had a blast today,
Well, thank you guys for having us, man.
and we hope
Appreciate
to
it.
see you all very, very soon.
Thank you guys. Next week for sure.
Sounds good, Janelle.
For sure? Okay, that's
For
awesome.
sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll hold you to that.
Okay, deal.
Want to give a shout out to our buddy Treemaster Jesus, having a tough day today. Hope things turn around real quick for you. Best of luck to Wisco Janitor Jesus' back door. About to have one of those colonoscopies. It's a breeze. It's a breeze.
It
Don't
ain't
even
no
worry
thing.
about it.
Ain't no thing.
I was worried about it for decades when I first found out about it.
I just got a threat from Leo. He told me, "Don't make me call your wife Luann."
Come on, Leo.
Who are your listeners, man?
Don't piss them
I
off.
feel like a hostage now.
Do not piss them off. Happy 40th to Finney from the better half. Happy 15th birthday to Izzy from Mom, Lifeguard Jesus. And whether you're listening live or on the podcast, a great Tuesday to the rest of you.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Don't wait for an AC breakdown this summer. Get a free in-home estimate with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Schedule your appointment today at standardheating.com.